Dun 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 dun. Boom ba boom boom ba boom ba 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 ba. I think we got this thing. We got to put it together. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. We can probably tilt this up a little. Ba 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 da. Oh, wait. Let's make my camera a little bit more. I'll probably get it a little bit bigger. There we go. How the fuck are we doing, folks? How the fuck are we doing? On this beautiful, what is it, Saturday? I don't fucking know. I work from home. I don't know what day it is. We've got some good ass content to start up with today. Let me tell you. Ooh. Yeah, I managed to get a chat overlay working, but it was a huge pain in the ass. Cientius! Thanks for the $2, friend. Don't forget, capitalism is for chuds. I will never forget, okay? One other thing I won't forget. The importance of leading with a good topic. The San Diego shooting. Yikes! Yikes, yikes, yikes. Ooh. Ooh, dear. Oh, my. That's not good. Shut up. That's bad. Man, at a synagogue, too.
Welcome back. We're continuing to cover.
Shut up. I don't care. A 19-year-old man was in custody after a shooting at a synagogue in the California city of Poway left at least one person dead and several others wounded. Okay, one dead, several wounded. Okay, I'm not I'm trying to grade atrocities here, but this could have gone worse, it seems. I'm just saying, if we were going for score, this guy would have lost. But we're not, so don't. Sean Locke, thanks for the $5. Howdy, my friend. Hope you're doing all right. Apart from my crippling dental pain, I'm doing okay. Thank you. So, man, there is something really old-fashioned about fascism, isn't there? Really, archaic. I mean, who would have thought that in 2019 we would have to contend, unironically, with Nazis, like Nazis, and hating Jews. This just feels very archaic to me. Maybe it's because I grew up in a Jewish community. I grew up in Beverly Hills. Oh my God, Norm Markendice. Jesus Christ, with the 20 euros? Yeah, why not? Just give me fucking 20 euros. Go for it. Thank you so much for the support. Hello, Vaush, the reactionary. Didn't manage to catch your last streams. Booty tax for you. Hey. As an anarcho-syndicalist, booty is a human right, and I will not let the state incur any form of taxation on it. Thank you for the 2 euros, and not 2 euros, 20 euros, and likewise to the Crimson Drummer with the $2. Thank you so much. Been binging your videos, love your content, and I love you, friend. Funny how that works. I wanted to talk as I opened today about fascism, because I mean it's the hot button topic today. It's the hot shit. It's the hottest shit. It seems a little bit apropos, really, to be discussing fascism in the wake of I guess, attempted mass shooting at a synagogue from a 19-year-old boy, too. 19 years old. God, that is so young. Can you imagine being 19 and being so furious with the state of the world that you're willing to consign your life away just to kill a couple Jews? Can you imagine? Like, no, like that's really fucked up. Like, I can imagine like a 30 or a 40-year-old disgruntled with the state of the world, nothing left to live for. They'll go out and try this. But this preponderance of young people being brought into that, ooh, man, that's really fucking weird. I wanted to talk about fascism right off the get-go because it's, I mean, like I said, hot button topic, pretty important these days. The reason why I want to talk about it is because I want to I'm going to make a YouTube video about this specifically. I wanted to talk for a little bit before we get to the funny reactionary videos and their stupid points so I can respond and, da-da-da. Abime? Thank you so much for the $5 from my tip jar to yours. Keep up the crucial work of the dirtbag left. Your NorCal honey bun. Thank you so much for the $5. We should do a NorCal meetup before we head out, shouldn't we? Some kind of something. Won't need to give me money there, okay? I'll buy you coffee. Thank you. So, now, the subject that I wanted to get into right away, it's fascism. And there's something that I want to say. It's going to make wonderful clickbait headline. Fascists are not as wrong as you think. What do I mean by this? Well, do I mean they're right with the anti-Semitism, the Jewish question, the genocide? No, of course not. But it is very important to remember, whenever you are discussing a social problem, whether that be the school-to-prison pipeline or a preponderance of violence in the black community, whether that be anything. People seem to think the font isn't super clear. The words are a bit clumped and hard to make out. Okay, I'll disable it for now then. I can twiddle with that later. The API, not the API, the CSS I had to fuck around with was pretty confusing. But that's okay. Now, the important question here is, why are things the way they are? This is the sociological imagination. If you see, for example, that black people commit a lot of crime in the United States, and they do. I mean, we don't need to be afraid of facts here. They do. It's disproportionate, severely so. When you see this, your immediate reaction internally should be, why is this the case? What circumstances led? Because there's really only two possible answers. They either have a genetic predisposition towards committing crime, which is not substantiated scientifically, so that doesn't seem to be the case, or there are social circumstances which lead to this, social condition. Obviously, taking the gut answer, taking the intuitive response, which is that, oh no, I guess black people are just kind of violent. This intuition leads us down some really bad paths. Whoo, boy, some really bad paths socially. Whereas engaging sociologically with the content can make it such that you're able to not only sort of arrive at a more humane or egalitarian explanation for the problem, you're also able to fix it. Because if you believe that black people are just, say, genetically predisposed towards violence, how do you fix that exactly? Do you kill them all? Like, what do you do? But if it's a preponderance of socioeconomic and cultural factors, then you can start working towards policy decisions that might, ameliorate the situation. Now, fascism. Why are people fascists? Is it because they're stupid? Is it because they're brutish? Is it because they're evil? Is it because they're inconsiderate? Is it because there's no humanity left in their hearts? The answer to all of these things is yes. But they didn't get that way just as an accident. It didn't just happen. There are social conditions which lead to a rise in fascism. We all know the economic anxiety meme, right? That when people are, their jobs are getting slipped out from under their feet, their wages aren't hiking up, they start to look more critically at society, and then they have several different avenues they can take as to what exact sort of tendencies they're going to take in regards to criticizing society. And it's those tendencies that I want to talk about. So, a fascist is, in the strict academic sense, somebody who supports a system of hierarchical authority in which the state and corporations collaborate to wield state power. It is essentially the co-opting of corporate power into the state to form a unified body of power. And fascism has other tenets, like anti-intellectualism, like chauvinism, militarism, things like this. I think I already said anti-intellectualism. It's based principally on the idea of exclusion, that society is made better when its weaker elements are cast out, rather than society being made better when its disparate elements are brought up together. Now, again, why do I say this? Most people who are fascists have not critically engaged with the academic underpinnings of fascism. If I bring a fascist on, I can think, you have obvious examples like Nicholas J. Fuentes or Richard Spencer, but then you have people who have very strong fascistic undertones. You have people like Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro, who are fascists in essentially all but names and blatant anti-Semitism. And then you have people who don't really overtly discuss it, but they definitely are, like Black Pilled or Black Pigeon Speaks. The reason why most people get into fascism is because they feel a crucial underlying discontent with the way the world is. Very, very strong. Right down here, deep in your heart. It can be economic. It could be because jobs are getting harder to find because wages aren't increasing with the cost of living. So your standard of life is declining with time, and you see this and you mourn the American dream you never got to, become a part of. It could be because, alternatively, you're, say, a white person, and you see, as you live perhaps in the fringes of a city like Portland, you see more and more sort of multicultural elements being brought into the city, and even if you're not racist, or at least if you don't think you're racist, you can believe that this influx of people with different cultures than you constitutes a corruption of your own culture, much in the same way, if we try and look at this charitably, that, say, like a Paki fish merchant 50 years ago might have been dismayed to see the global tide of encroaching capitalism sort of washing over their state like a wave, reducing his job to meaninglessness, and then he has to go get a job being like a food service worker or a foot measurer at Paki Foot Locker or whatever, some other nonsense. There are a lot of sort of intrinsic feelings of discomfort and agitation that can lead a person down the road towards fascism. And then that agitation will invariably bring about certain modes of thought that lead towards exclusionary behavior and bigotry. Oh, well, why is my culture going down the drain? Well, it must be because of all the blacks and Mexicans. Why are economic circumstances in this country declining? It's because Jews control Hollywood and the government, and they're depriving us of our resource. You understand my point, and I'm not going to dignify it by listing all of their ridiculous conspiracy theories. The reason why I'm saying this, and this is ever more important, is that if you want to be a soldier against fascism, and I know that sounds LARPy, but if you want to be that person, if you want to be capable of that, you can't just attack the surface elements. You can't just attack racism. You can't just attack sexism. You can't just attack anti-Semitism, because these aren't actually the core tenets of fascism. These are just the ways in which the discontent is made manifest. Always, always, always be willing to look a little bit beyond that surface, that veneer, that shell, that gloss of that when you take a big shit and you get like that sheen on the outside and it's all the poop juice around it, okay? That's the poop juice. But you're not here to clean up the poop juice. You're here to clean up the poop. All right? Focus on the poop, okay? Focus on the poop. That's all I wanted to say. Let me catch up with Super Chats. Evelyn Nowicki, super hyped to finally catch this live. Love your videos, funny and intelligent. Keep it up. And handsome. Evelyn, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. That bitch with no sass. I am no wrong account for the first donation. Forgot its name. Not for you people. I love you. Also, I wanted to pay you. That bitch with no sass. Maybe one day we can debate, but that day is not this day. Thank you so much for the €5, though. I really appreciate the support, as always. Lord Hugenot, thanks for the $2. Fascist states are doomed to inbreeding. Are you suggesting there's something wrong with incest? My good buddy Destiny will want to have a word with you. As people are telling me apparently that Paki is a slur in the UK. I'm not a Britbonger. I didn't know. Won't use it in the future. Except for that one time I just used it in the sentence I just said. What are you going to do, right? Varia with the 14 Canadian dollars. Incredibly grateful for your content, pulling from back from the reaction of Kevs. Any thoughts on Trudeau's treatment of Indigenous people? Yeah, I don't think well of it. Fucking Canada has always had a really dicey history with their Indigenous folk, but I have like no academic familiarity with the historical circumstances. I would need to do more research before I felt comfortable really tackling that topic. Nonetheless, it is something I'll get into. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And Creative Nothing. Fat shits and Nazis get the bullet. Their entire purpose is to deadlock the capitalist system and ensure there will never be a workers' revolt. Yeah, of course. Fundamentally, communists and fascists are both agitated by the same basic socioeconomic circumstances. The difference is that communists then move to disestablish that power, whereas fascists move to secure it. Very much as a child clings to a dirty old blanket that they've had since they were an infant. Could you do a video on fascist American Krogan? Krogan? Like the coffee cups? Or is that... No, that's Kroger. I don't know who that is. But why not, Tornad3171? Alright, what the fuck are we talking about? Why am I canceled? I'm looking at chat right now, and I'm seeing a lot of people accusing me of being canceled.
For using the slur.
Well. Such is life.
We all get canceled sometimes.
Vosh just yanks. I don't believe it was used as a slur, but something to keep him aware of. It's a pretty bad slur. Alright, yeah, get it. Jesus Christ. Like I said, I'm not a Britbonger. I'm an enlightened patrician American, okay? Jesus. Alright. So what the fuck was I getting at? Okay. So this has been fun and all. Okay? We've had a great time. Little intro, fascism, da-di-da. But there are more important topics to discuss. Okay? Things that impact the world much more substantively. So much more substantively than fascism. I'm talking about video games.
Wow.
I'm talking about fucking video games. Okay? We all hear about the Mortal Kombat 11 controversy, right? We've all heard this shit. We've all heard this shit, right? I know we've heard this shit.
Actually, I don't know too much about it.
Well, I'm here to educate you. So, I'm sure you guys know, Mortal Kombat, video games, you punch people, good fun, good times, okay? However, a tragedy struck a little while back. See, prior to the release of Mortal Kombat 11, there were some, of course, like screenshots and videos and stuff, and people got all sorts of angry because the ladies in Mortal Kombat 11 look a little bit less stupid. Okay, so over here on the left, we've got the prior design of this character. I don't know who the fuck this is, but this is what she looked like before. This is what she looked like now. Now, okay? Listen, please. My friends, listen. I love me some booby, all right? My girlfriend got big floppies, okay? Big heaping fucking flesh sacks, all right? I love it. When you lick them and they spray milk everywhere,
Don't say that.
just firing off against
Don't
the
say
wall. Fucking blasting paint off the drywall. Listen, I'm all here for that, okay? But it is possible that maybe sometimes you can have female characters where you don't see their boobies all of the time. I know. It's a pretty radical suggestion. I know. Please. But, you know, food for thought. So we've got this. We've got like this one We've got, see, there's like the newer designs. See, there's like less boobies in the newer designs. There's definitely like a reduction in boobies. Maybe sort of a de-boobification. Look, here's Sonya. Here here are the boobies, and now where are the boobies? Incredible. So, not Metal Gear, what the fuck am I saying? Mortal Kombat 11 made an effort across the board to make its female character designs a little bit less patronizingly chauvinistic. There's another great example here, right? Okay. Yeah, I love this one. So this used to be a character. This is an outfit that happened. A character designer worked real hard on this one. I gotta tell you. So this is cool. A good fighting outfit. And then here's the current design. See, look, it's like actual armor. It's still got like boob plates, and you still get to see this luscious, beefy meat thigh, which imagine unironically not being attracted to this. Just saying. Whatever the case is, there are some people who were really fucking mad about this, okay? There were people, the Quartering did a fucking video on it. This shit was fucking blasting our videos. It was all over the goddamn place. People were fucking furious that Mortal Kombat, long held as the epitome of gaming sort of juvenility, with the blood and the gore, and then they added in the boobies when the pixels got, big enough that they could have the boobies. But this controversy has since been supplanted by another. I know. And I know what you're wondering, too. What controversy could possibly get white male gamers more angry than hiding the boobies? Well, I've got an answer for you. It's ending slavery. Let's watch this together. This is the ending for one of the characters in Mortal Kombat 11. You play the game, you do a bunch of fights, and then you win, and then they get their ending. And they get one wish. You get like one wish if you win whatever stupid ass. I've never played a fucking Mortal Kombat game, but I get the gist. Let's get ready.
All I wanted was to fix my life. Now I have the power to fix history. Raiden warns me, I can't fix everything. Change too much and I could lose Vera, lose Jackie. But this power is bigger than us. If I think only about helping myself, what kind of officer am I? What kind of man? I've been lucky. My family and I have lived the American dream.
Boo.
Most people who look like me haven't had that chance. I owe it to them to put things right. And I'm not waiting centuries for people to get woke, when I've got the power to speed things up. I don't get it right the first time, or the second, or even the third, but eventually, I knock it out of the damn park. My family's back. The world's a better place for everyone. Turns out, you can have everything. Anyone who says you can't needs to dream bigger.
All right, you get it? He went back and ended the Trans-Pacific slave trade. We got it? Have we seen the SJW corruption? And at the end here, we've got people wearing like African-style clothing. I don't know much about like African fashion or whatever, but I have seen Black Panther, which basically makes me an expert. And I see we have colors, and we've got a side arm thing, which makes this African clothing. I don't know, okay? I'm not an expert. Whatever the case is, this is, I think, this is a very milquetoast ending, okay? Listen, if I was making a game where an ending would be like you go back in time and end the transatlantic slave trade by punching people, because that's what this guy does. He's a puncher. Look at that fucking arm. He punches. I would not be like, I ain't waiting centuries for people to get woke. Nah, fuck, it'd be like a 30-minute sequence of like fucking Dutch and British captains banked up against the western shores of Africa getting fucking Titan punched into the decks of their ship. It's fucking Mortal Kombat. They could be a 30-minute cinematic of blood fountains exploding off the edges of these ships as all of the traders are blown apart into pieces until they decide to stop coming back and Africa doesn't get to experience colonialism or whatever. But instead, they do this super milquetoast, I went back, and I freed them, or whatever like that, okay? So this is... So no mention of white people, no mention even of the slave trade explicitly, no mention of America beyond him saying that he wants everyone to experience the American dream. There is no more, like, gloves on way of addressing this. This is it. This is the nicest way of tackling this issue. This is the least offensive way. But you better believe it. Some folks got real angry about this. Oh, politics in my video games? Let's do it, friends. Let's jump right in. And I've got a special treat because the person here who believes that game developers shouldn't be able to end slavery is black. What a fucking you thought I was going to give you a white gamer. Huh, racists. You stupid pieces of shit. You fucking eggshell brains. Crack the surface, nothing underneath. He's black, which means any opinion he has on this issue is inviolate. Let's shit on him. Let's do it.
Kombat gets woke.
Get it?
Mortal Kombat gets woke. Oh my goodness. So one thing that I've been extremely consistent on is the fact that I do not want politics injected into my video games.
Right off the bat, one thing this guy is very consistent on is that he does not want politics injected into his video games. And who could argue with him? I mean, for the past 30, 40 years, back since, I don't know, the fucking Atari 2600 was released, we have had no politics in video games. There have been no video games that have depicted war, inequality, injustice, imperialism, apartheid. None of these things. No, for the longest time, the video game industry has steered clear of political indoctrination in their games. Like hit franchises, like for example, Metal Gear Solid or Call of Duty or the Battlefield series, have masterfully woven a narrative, just tightly running that through line amidst any subjects that might, be conceivably politically dicey. Like in like when the Russia invade the United States, that was very not political. And the entirety of Metal Gear Solid, yes, those were video games. So I agree with him right off the bat, okay? Politics is a big no-no in video games. Let's see how we move forward from this.
I don't want it to happen, right?
By the way, I don't understand how a guy with a channel this big has audio quality this terrible, okay? I don't know. I am but a peaceful observer.
Those are two different worlds. I do not want them to collide.
Don't want it.
Ever, at all.
Nope.
It should never happen.
Nope, you don't want it.
Apparently now, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know what's going on. But apparently now in present day, it is a popular thing to do the exact opposite. We now have activists in the gaming community who have to make a stand. For whatever reason, they just have to say something. They have to let their voices be heard.
They got to do it. They have no choice but to do it. He sure has been continuing with this stupid rhetorical intro for 50 seconds now. He didn't even have an intro. It was like 2 seconds. But he's still going with this. At least I'm doing it as a joke.
Now, the last thing I expected to ever be political or politicized was Mortal Kombat. Now,
nothing political about Mortal Kombat, the game franchise that single-handedly blew open the question of violence in video games, the subject of which was discussed in fucking congressional testimonies, and the developers of the games themselves said they were deliberately trying to test political boundaries. What could conceivably be political about that? I answer you, nothing. There is nothing about Mortal Kombat which could be considered political up until this point. The decision to include the hyper gore, the decision to have the men be beefy muscle suits hidden underneath layers of armor while all the ladies are... I mean, guys, you saw the female character designs, right, at the beginning? Right? This is all apolitical, okay? This is all completely apolitical.
Now, I tried very hard not to cover anything, not to do videos on this game. When they started talking about the character designs of the women and how they have them dressed up like they're in Iran or something.
Ooh, I love... Ooh, wait, hold on.
Have them dressed up.
Having soldiers and fighters dressed in full uniform is like having them wear a burqa in Iran. This is one of the ways that reactionaries like to flip the script on you. Like, oh, you want women to cover up? Ah, yeah, just like fucking Muslims, huh? You just... Oh, yeah, who's the real social conservative? I think a woman should be able to wear what she wants. Okay, well, buddy, my friend, they're not women. They're characters coded, drawn, and designed by people who make conscious choices. And the decision to have literally every fucking female character in your game be like, what is she wearing? She's wearing a loincloth, a leg band with kunai strapped to it, and a leather training bra with pauldrons and some sort of ninjutsu mouth cover thing. Okay?
Oh, well, hun,
Yeah?
just so you know, we can't see the bottom half because of the thing.
That's fine.
Okay.
But you know what? Just so you guys can enjoy the full fucking piece. Whoop! Look at that. Okay? See that? So to move from the one on the right here to the one on the left does not constitute covering women up in the same way Islam suggests women should be covered up. I will explain to you why. Though, of course, everyone who makes this argument is being disingenuous. Nobody unironically believes. There is not a single reactionary who unironically believes that left-leaning people in SJWs or whatever are genuinely trying to cover up women for the same reason that Islam suggests they should be covered up. In Islam, the reason that women are supposed to cover up, to varying extents, different cultures, obviously, I'm not trying to paint a broad brush, but generally speaking, this is the accusation being made. In Islam, it is done to protect the dignity and virtue of the woman and to keep the men who are salacious and perverted, to keep their wandering eyes away from the woman so that she can live her life without being subjected to that gaze. It's very much a reinforcement of the patriarchal system. Whereas a stealthy ninja who's fucking bristling with weapons would probably actually want to wear leather armor like on the left. I'm not saying realism is the chief concern here, but I think I can make some pretty compelling arguments about why looking like the lady does on the left, Scarlet, I guess her name is, wanting to look this way or wanting to design her this way might be motivated by reasons other than we must protect the virginal purity of woman's form by covering it up. So this, again, off the bat, very disingenuous suggestion, very smooth-brained, very stupid. And also implying that SJWs force the dev company to do this. I thought people like this were all in favor of letting dev companies do whatever it is they wanted to do and not criticizing them for their work or challenging them to do anything different. And it seems to me like the people who made Mortal Kombat 11 did this distanced from any sort of exterior compulsion. It seems like they made this decision of their own violation. And now it's the reactionaries who are complaining and demanding they change things. It's almost as though people of all political walks petition corporations to change things they don't like, and only disingenuous bad faith actors suggest otherwise. Let's keep it going.
Like they're in Iran or something. You know, the same thing that Insomniac Games did.
Oh my god. Hey, Shoe on Head. What's up? Happy to have you here. Yeah, I've heard this guy's got some spicy, some fiery takes on trans people. That's, we got that up on the docket too. But let's keep it going.
did with Black Cat
Right.
in Iran or something. You know, the same thing that Insomniac Games did with Black Cat, had her up here looking like a nun.
Is this looking like a nun?
Insomniac Games did with Black.
Is this, guys, is this how nuns look? Holy shit. I missed out not being born Catholic. This how nuns look? God damn. Fuck. No wonder the Catholic Church is rife with sexual abuse. If I had to work with people who dressed up to the nines like this, I'd be busting nuts in my shorts every fucking day.
Cat had her up here looking like a nun. They did the same thing with Mortal Kombat. Now, if you juxtapose that with the male characters, many of the male characters in their designs, they're pretty much just shirtless, topless, damn near butt naked. I was like, okay.
We wanna look at the Mortal Kombat 11 characters because they're not all the dudes are naked. This is a disingenuous comparison to begin with, but we can do this. I mean, Sub-Zero, MK. I only know the name of two people, and it's Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Okay, these are the only two people I know about. We did it. All right, basically naked and shirtless. And isn't Scorpion basically the same person? Or do they have like a Zelda Sheik thing going on? Right? I don't fucking know. Okay, this is dumb. Forget it. Let's keep going. But it's a disingenuous comparison, obviously. And I haven't had to make this argument in literal years. Literal fucking years, mind you. But when the game devs make it so here, we can do this. Watch, okay? Watch. Let's watch this, okay? Look, we're gonna do it, okay? MGS5 quiet. Alright? Alright? Here we have an example of a character with a design. This is the thing. This is a military person who does military. Okay? So we have that. And then we have Zangief. That's fan art. Here we go. Yeah, bring it out. My idol. It's a toy. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, we can use the toys design. Do I need to explain to any of those confused why when men are half naked but they look like this, whereas when women are half naked they look like this, why there's actually a really big difference in the motivation and rationale behind making them look this way? I don't need to do that, right? That'd be a huge waste of our times, right? Because typically speaking, when men are like shirtless, it's this brutish, aggressive display of power. They're rugged with the bulging cheekbones, the square jaw. They don't look very sexual or sensual or anything like that. And they're covered in scars and hair. And when women have all the clothes off, they all have these beautiful, petite, like lingerie model figures with like a couple pieces of armor and weapons strapped on. If we had women that were like dressed down to like nothing, but they all had like fucking Zarya or like Jasper from Steven Universe bodies, you can make an argument. You can have yourself some female power fantasies too, you know. But that ain't what's going on here. Go away. No spoilers.
Okay, whatever. I'll let that slide. I'll let it slide.
Oh.
I'll let it be.
Wait, he let it slide? Wait, so it has nothing to do with this argument? So wait, why'd he bring it up? Why did he waste my time like this?
Then it comes down to, you know, Jax's ending of the game gets released. I'm like, what's going on here? I look at Jax's ending. They go full retard on this ending.
Oh.
Apparently Jax, you know, Jax uses his powers to pretty much, my mind is hurting.
He can't. Jax uses his powers to stop slavery before it happened. Is that hard? Are you drawing it out? If you were trying to draw it out to the 10-minute mark, you fucking failed, my dude. This is a 7-minute and 9 video.
The dude says he doesn't have time for people to get.
You can't do. Ooh, oh my god! It's unironically like a fucking like kids like 12-year-old like fuck Muse Elk or some shit. Like I'm like ooh oh, and I found this chest in Fortnite, and you won't believe what came out. Oh, I don't even want to say it. Oh, this thing is busted. This is ridiculous clickbait reactionary content. Please, he ended slavery before it happened. He stopped slavery.
Woke!
And I'm not waiting centuries for people to get woke when I've got the power to speed things up.
Yeah.
He says the word woke. Why? 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 Why would you?
Why not?
Oh my God, it's so cringe. It's so cringe.
I didn't cringe at the ending cinematic in MK11. I am cringing very hard at this guy's behavior. I just, I don't know what to say. People like the word woke nowadays. Maybe in 10 years we'll use another word that means basically the same thing. Right now, it's 2019. That word's hot. You know what's never going to die? Making YouTube reactionary videos. Oh, I can't even say it. Oh, it's so cringe. Oh, I can't even believe it. That's never going to die. You keep that up, friend. You keep that style alive.
I'm listening to this. I don't have time for the people to get woke. You know, he's
Hey, was that a black voice? You can't do that, man.
talking about how he has an American dream, but not everyone who looks like him has had that same dream or whatever, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, apparently, from what it looks like, what I can tell from the cutscene, he turns Africa into Wakanda.
What?
What?
What? He clearly stopped slavery from happening. What the fuck are you talking about? Unironically, the level of cognitive ability we get from YouTubers like this, Jesus fucking Christ, and it turned it into Wakanda. What the fuck are you talking about? He showed black people in chains. He said they weren't able to live the same life he did. He clearly went back and stopped that. What the fuck do you mean he turned Africa and Wakanda?
I don't understand. Apparently, the only people that have been in slavery are people that look like him.
Why you gotta be so triggered, bro? Nobody said that. I mean, are you gonna argue that there's like any group of people that have been subjected to as much slavery and exploitation as Africans? Even if there was, and I would struggle to find a demographic who fit that characteristic. So? Hey, here's a hot question. If there, wait, here, okay, here it is, all right? I'm Irish, so I get to say this. You all know my old tag name, all right? Here's my game. MK12, new character added, Lucky Mick. No, that's not an Irish accent. I'm not Irish. I don't, Lucky Mick. Hori. Oh, no. You know what? He's American born, okay? But he's Irish. Shut up. Okay? Lucky Mick, all right? And he's 4 feet tall. He's wider than he is tall. He's got the top hat and the green. He's full fucking leprechaun, okay? And he punches his way through the fighting tournament. And then at the end, when fighting Mick, when Lucky Mick, when he gets his wish, he goes back and he stops Americans in the in the late 19th and early 20th centuries from being mean to Irish immigrants. That's it. He did that. He goes, I got to live the Irish dream, but not everyone did. Me great-great-great-great-grandpappy, when he came to this country, was what traced like shit. What? And then he goes back, and then he shows, like, Irish people with, like, Irish need not apply. And then everything gets bright, and the future of New York is there's, like, I don't know, 2 St. Patty's Day parades, okay? If this happened, nobody would give a shit about it. There would not, even if he said woke in the video, there would not be a single fucking dipshit, brainlet, reactionary YouTuber like this fuckhead right here who would sit there and fucking clutch the pearls and wring the hands. Clutch the pearls, wring the hands. He said woke. He said woke, and he turned New York City some sort of Celtic paradise. Cringe. Apparently, Irish people are the only people who are oppressed. Of course not. Literally, Nobody would fucking say this. The only reason this is an issue, unironically, is because people think that you should have to. It's not even a matter of justifying it. People just they just made uncomfortable by the idea of blacks not having been enslaved back in the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries. They just get uncomfortable. They just they see that and they're like, "Oh, that's not right. That was supposed to happen." So they get uncomfortable. And then fucking brainlet, numbskull, dipshit, smooth brain, smooth arm. No hair on this arm. Numbskulls like this guy get to make $1 million pushing out these nonsense reactionary videos where they get to pretend as though this is in any way substantively different than literally anything else that goes on in video games at any point in time. He is very smooth, isn't he? It's almost like if you saw this guy in the street, his body is like a prelude to the inside of his brain. All right, his brain. You could unironically, if this dude slipped on a skateboard and cracked his head open, the first thing you would be so freaked out, because not only would you see the blood piling under his head, you'd see a perfect reflection of it off of his exposed brain. Not a single wrinkle on that fucking thing. Let me tell you. And his body tells you, hey, it's smooth up here, and I'm smooth in here too. All right, let's keep it going.
Which is obviously historically inaccurate.
What?
So, are people that look like him.
Wait.
The only people that have been in slavery are people that look like him, which is obviously historically inaccurate.
He never said only black people have been enslaved.
So the only people he cared about was his own. All right.
Yeah, there are people who get the wish at the end of Mortal Kombat 11 and just save their family. Would you do a video on that? Ooh, cringe! More people have suffered than just your Aunt Maria and Uncle Ben, Spider-Man. But you'll just save them. Ooh, cringe! Not the reason I'm doing this, obviously this person is 8 tiers below me intellectually. The reason why I'm doing this is because reactionaries love to throw out these fucking arguments, and it's really important to be able to just immediately dismiss them, just every time, every single fucking time. Well, as though black people are the only ones enslaved. No one said they were the only ones enslaved. He said woke. So people say woke nowadays. The game was made today. People are going to say woke in the game that was made about people based on how they act today. Okay. Well, he turned Africa into some kind of Wakanda. Nope, that's not substantiated by the story. You have to be able to just bap, bap, bap with these arguments. Bap, right off the bat.
Okay, I mean, I don't know how that falls in line with his character Jax, but that's what they chose to do, and they have Wakanda, everything's peaches and creams. Oh.
There was no Wakanda, and also, what the fuck does he mean? This doesn't fall in line with the character Jax. Are you saying your criticism of this is that you don't believe it develops on his story appropriately? What the fuck are you saying? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if Lucky Mick would want to go save the Irish back in 1910s New York. Ooh, I don't know if the Bronx back at the turn of the century was where Lucky Mick really needed to be.
Okay, we won't even go into the problem with alternate dimensions and how we won't even go in that path. Wait, what do you mean? If you change something, the butterfly effect, how would you exist? Won't even go there. Whatever, that's what they did.
Guys, isn't this time traveling ending so cringe? They don't even know that time traveling isn't real. Cringe.
Then we have Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I didn't preempt you guys to this drama. This is gonna be good, all right? All right, get ready.
One of his intros.
Shao Kahn's the main villain of Mortal Kombat, I think.
Is make Outworld great again.
Let us make Outworld great again.
Bruh. Bruh. What?
Bruh. Who says bruh? Cringe.
What were you all thinking? Huh? What are you guys doing over there?
Waiting on an argument.
Boom. My God, what's going on?
Waiting
Can someone
on an
explain to me? I hope this isn't meant to be an insult, because it's not. This is the most greatest thing. Epic. This is of just...
Did he just say epic unironically in 2019? But saying woke is cringe, let me tell you. Again, the reason why he acts this way is because reactionaries don't have arguments, they just have really strong feelings. When they see stuff in games that indicate a progressive agenda, like making fun of President Trump by having the main villain utter a line reminiscent of something Trump likes to say, or having an ending for a character in which they acknowledge the existence of and end slavery, which I guess is a controversial thing now, they see these things and they just instantly get like, like right there, right? That's what they get. And then later they try and justify that through arguments. They'll dig up whatever they can, but fundamentally that's where it all comes from. You'll never be able to change the mind of these people. You have to change the mind of the people watching. But this guy, I doubt this guy actually believes what he's saying. How much money is he making off this? This is, okay, it's not like crazy big. He's got 300,000 subscribers though. That's a pretty fucking big number.
Just epic proportions. I don't know what to tell you. You just made Shao Kahn use Donald Trump's tagline of "Make Outworld Great Again."
Does he know what a tagline is? Do you think he meant slogan? I wonder if he thinks those mean the same things.
You essentially immortalized Trump. Do you guys not get that? I hope this is supposed to be like someone there is MAGA and they.
You fools. If it weren't for your actions, people would have forgotten about the existence of the President of the United States of America. But now that you've added this throwaway line for the enemy of your video game, you have immortalized Donald Trump. Now his legacy can never die.
They love Trump and they're like, yo, this would be really funny. They made the villain say this. I don't know what's going on. Here's the thing. I don't want this in the game. I don't care if it's pro-Trump or against Trump. I don't want it. I don't want to be thinking about politics when I'm playing a fighting game. And the funny thing is, when it came to the design of the women and how I don't think the women would be scantily clad while...
Again, keep in mind, these are all feels arguments right here. Well, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want politics. I don't want it. Oh, I'm okay with war shooters, by the way. I'm okay with historical games that like Assassin's Creed that discuss political. No one fucking complains about politics in Assassin's Creed. Games like fucking BioShock. No one gives a fuck about games like Total War, the fucking EU games or Civilization games. Nobody gives a fuck about the fact that Mortal Kombat prior to this iteration was already known for being or at least back when in its heyday, for being a politically envelope pushing game. That's all completely fine. I have no problem with that. My buck for politics in video games begins and ends with acknowledging the existence of and the problems with slavery and ending it.
Fighting. Have you ever seen UFC pimping? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So it's not okay to dress them up in bikinis, right? But
no, you can dress them up in bikinis. The developers made a decision to change that and not have them in bikinis. Ooh. Do you have a problem with video game developers making autonomous choices about the way in which they want to build their game? Ooh, that's pretty cringe, bro. Ooh, I'm cringing over here.
If we rip out the vertebrae or smash your skull in, that's fine. You guys are okay with the gratuitous violence in the game, but putting bikinis on them, whoa, we're not chauvinist pigs, all right?
Hey, guys, if you have blood and gore in your games, you basically have to have the tits out too. If you don't, it's evidence of SJW hypocrisy. There is no conceivable reason why a game like Mortal Kombat might want to, or the developers might want to orient this game more around the ultra-violence it was originally centered on and not on the big heaving Dead or Alive type boobies that were flailing about the place. See, this guy is saying that he doesn't like politics in games and that he doesn't really care about this clothing drama and that he didn't want to comment on it. But now not only is he bringing it up again, he's actively preferring a particular political stance over another. That women are all scantily clad, conventionally attractive with the boobies and the slim waist, to include all the female characters in your game and have them look like this is already a political statement. You already... No fucking agender, politically neutral alien robot would come down from the heavens and build a fighting game and decide to make it like that. All of our choices, from the ultra-violence in the game to the outfits they wear to the motivations they carry, all of these things are politically based. Every single one of them. To have women wear clothing that's like reasonable, like armored clothing, is every bit as much a political statement as choosing to have all of your women in ridiculous bikinis that could not possibly stand the rigors of combat. These are equally political. And then you can make arguments about how one of them reinforces demeaning or chauvinistic standards towards women, and you can make arguments about how the other does the opposite and makes it, you know, make the women actually look like fighters instead of ridiculous sex fetish dolls. And then you can make the argument that while you do have ultra-violence in the game, it's Mortal Kombat. I mean, you gotta have your ultra-violence, right? Without that, it's not Mortal Kombat. You can make the argument that the inclusion of this violence doesn't actually hurt anyone. See, there have been studies out there about violent games, and the consensus seems to be that violent video games don't actually make the people who play them more violent. No harm is being done here. The game is rated M, so only older people can play it, you know, officially. All's good. However, you can make an equally compelling argument that by having all of your women in the game be titty monsters, that you are reinforcing negative and sexist social trends against women. This has been demonstrated in studies, that people who consume and create that sort of media tend to have more chauvinistic, traditional, objectifying, sexualizing views towards women. So, all of these good, wonderful, fact-based arguments that I could make, but Feels Bro over here, whose tagline, I guess, OMG, good, oh my good, he's got the shirt. I don't know if you guys can see the shirt through my cam. For this guy who has moral outrage printed on the very shirt that he's wearing, I don't know if he wants to engage with these facts. I think he likes his feels.
We're not some disgusting, toxic male figures, okay? We have respect. It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. I don't get why. Just tell me why. That's all I want to know. And so I'm just like, I hope nothing like that is in Days Gone. I know we're going to get some craziness in what's his name's game, Last of Us 2. I know we're going to get some craziness there. So I just, my gosh, I just wish people would just let it be, man. Just let it be. Just get back to making great games, right? God of War didn't have any of that in there.
The newest God of War game wasn't political at all. There was nothing political that went into the development of the newest God of War game. Unless you ask any of the developers in the many multi-hour-long interviews they did on how they, you know, their attitudes towards certain social issues informed their decisions in the game's construction. These people are anti-art. Just so you guys know. They're anti-intellectual. They're anti-introspection. They're anti-art. Unironically, just get back to making good games, as though you have to make a choice between making a good game and making a game that has political statements in it.
Just give us a great game, man. Come on, now that's all we ask for. Is that too much to ask nowadays? Is that too much to ask? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think.
Nice, good meme. Okay, that guy was actually stupider than I thought he would be. And then we can check the comments, of course, which is always fun. Why can't they leave our games alone? Even though the developers made these choices on their own and you guys are now the ones complaining and pushing that they change it. I really wish worlds wouldn't collide and all these SJWs and activists would go back into their hiding spots. Make games great again. Choose your fighter and pick from over 300 genders. Finish that person whose gender I will not assume. It's the same joke over and over. Mortal Kombat, finish him. SJW player, did you just assume that person's gender? It's the same joke over and over. Conservative people are getting better at comedy. And leftists are getting scared. Alright, that was fun. It actually wasn't. That was actually stupider than I thought. I gotta stop watching videos like this. We've got no bullshits take over here, which is probably stupider.
Users are bombarding the game with negative reviews. Many claim the game is pushing an SJW, social justice warrior agenda, giving female characters a stronger role in the game's story, and giving Jax his particular ending. Some reviewers have gone as far as calling the Jax ending reverse racism. The story and the ending for Jax is frank racism, black power, but way. For example, but I really think he's onto something here. Jack's squad about Libyans enslaving other blacks, and develops a black utopia that mirrors Wakanda from Black Panther. Every scene
Okay, no, we're not doing this. I need to catch up on super chats. I am really far behind on those. Hold up. I feel like a little shit boy. Little shitty shit boy. You don't want to watch the stream of somebody who's a shit boy, do you? The answer is no, you don't. What?
You're at almost 1,000 viewers.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, first off, Ciancius with the $1. Vosh isn't canceled, silly. He's right here. Shout out to Guasim and my GF Adriana. Yes. Love you too, Ciancius. And Ciancius again, congrats to my friend Charlotte, who's currently living trying to be a woman because she is questioning. Good luck to her for realsies. Pete the Wookiee with the $13.12. Did you hear about the white supremacist terrorist that shut up a synagogue in San Diego? Pete the Wookiee, I literally talked about that at the beginning of the stream. Pete the Wookiee. They found his manifesto. Comrades, look for your local anti-fascist gun club to get trained and armed for self-defense. We keep us safe. Get first aid certified, too. Can't argue with that. Pete the Wookiee, pay the fuck attention, you piece of shit. You motherfucker. You piece of shit. Hold on. Woo! Bengus Khan with the $5. Vosh, there's someone in my lit class that keeps misgendering me and dead naming me. What should I do? Should I tell the administration? Yeah, you should. Fun to like power fantasy, go punch them and shit on their face. But no, probably tell the administration, document any incidences of them being outwardly like harassy towards you, and maybe confide in close friends and see if you can be around them when you're next to him so you can all group shame or at least defend one another in case he goes like full fucking crazy violent. Sean Locke with the $10. Thank you. The only people who say I don't want politics in my ex are morons. Yes, unless they're talking about alphabet soup. That is the one circumstance in which it is perfectly acceptable. There is nothing that infuriates me more when I am eating alphabets and I'm stirring it around and I see the 14 words written in there. That shit really fucking ruins my day. Farl with the $2. How dare you bring up Muselk? I'm sorry. I calls them as I sees them. Unnatural Shadows with the $2. Black Voice Squared. Yeah, that authenticity. And Unnatural Shadows, thanks again for the additional $2 with the frowny face. Jamporass with the $2. Sorry I'm late, I passed out after nutting to hentai. Listen, we've all been there, okay? And Creative Nothing with the $5. Yet when Skyrim has the Nords who want to eliminate and deport the inferior races and install an ethno-state, it's not political at all. Excellently said. Skyrim is a great example. Also, the fucking Fallout series? Jesus Christ. There are so many excellent examples of political inclusion in games that fucking gamer bros eat up without a second thought. Thomas with the £2. What are your general thoughts on STEM students? Hey, we need STEM students. I just think a lot of them are fucking pretentious, exclusionary cunts. Fuck them. And Ciancius with the $5. The right, the left can't meme. The left, we have memes. I guess you're just smart enough to understand them. Okay, listen. 4chan does have some good ass meme formats. Okay, we have to seize the meme formats. That's what we need to do. Okay. All right. How are we doing? Are we doing good? Here, look. Look, guys. Woo! You can see the chat again. Apparently, all of you spammed F. Instead of just waiting fucking 15 seconds for my shitty internet connection to stabilize itself? Why is playback only available on some streams? I don't like having playback because if I don't have playback, everyone has to watch live, and that means I have more live viewers, which increases the likelihood of getting donations and such and such. Sees the memes of production. I mean, we do. I like your ears. Thanks. I've got fucking huge keloids on my earlobes. I'll get them removed. Someday or another, though. That bitch with no sass with the €5. Oh, you didn't even read my chat saying you were scared of debating me? I get that I'm scary good. That bitch with no sass, please. When I saw you saying you wanted to debate me, I squirted a little bit of shit right out into my fucking briefs. I couldn't even help it. Plummeted right through me like there was a weight dangling from the end of the turd, okay? Just splashed right against the edge of my briefs. All right? I'm too scared. I'm weak. That bitch with no sass. I'm weak. I can't stand up to you. But you know who I can stand up to? Sean Locke with the fucking $5 in the super chat. Can we talk about how reactionaries all parrot the exact same talking points and are all hilariously simplistic and unrealistic? I think that's literally the subject of every single stream that I do. That's literally every stream I do. There are no, guys, you have to understand, there are no exceptional reactionaries. Not one of them. Not fucking this, whatever dumbass, the black guy we just watched. Whatever not, fucking Steven Crowder, Hunter Avallone, John Doyle, Ben Shapiro. There's nothing special about these people. Literally nothing. There's nothing special about them. None of them are smart. They don't have any better arguments than one another. Some of them are marginally smarter than the others. All of their arguments are flawed. All of their arguments are shit. There is not a single reactionary on this planet that I could not crush in a debate, given an equal audience and reasonable assurance that they can't gish gallop. So in a proper such and such, I believe this very firmly. I have spent years trialing through reactionary arguments on a daily basis, and I've yet to find a single one of them that has left me even remotely impressed. I am disappointed consistently, not only in the intelligence and logical thought that's been put into their arguments, but also in the rhetorical delivery. Jordan Peterson is arguably different, if only that he's extremely esoteric and impossible to understand, likely deliberately. I don't even believe that. Jordan Peterson is every bit as stupid as the people who follow him. I mean, he's not, mind you, of course, he's not actually stupid. His credentials are impressive, and he writes pretty well. He's not actually stupid. But when it comes to discussing political or social issues, he might as well be. Bengus Khan with the $2. Thanks, Vosh. Thank you, friend. And Tori with the 2 New Zealand buckaroos. What is Sam Harris? I would consider Sam Harris to be a reactionary. Yeah, definitely. He's a weird kind of reactionary, Sam Harris, but I do believe he is one. Surplus Cornbread with the $5. Can we talk about how we glad Reagan dead? I glad Reagan dead. I don't know what else to... I don't know what else to say about it. I think we pretty much covered it with that, didn't we? Creative Nothing with the $2. React to Esoteric the Free, the ANCAP furry. Oh no. Isn't this the guy who did the cringy thing with him and the hammer? It was him as the hammer, and it was called like Facts or Logic. No? Was this not that person? Maybe not. Hour-long video. Oh, I'm not gonna react to this guy. He's got fucking 3K subs. All I'd be doing is platforming a reactionary. Fuck that. Get it out of here. Get him out of here. Jesus. Did you hear about the synagogue shooting in San Diego? No, I haven't heard about it. Why don't you tell me about it in the chat? All right. I've been wanting to go over this one for a while, friends. Look at this. JRE Clips, 1.2 million views on this one. Ben Shapiro clarifies gay marriage stance. So for those of you who don't know, Ben Shapiro is a full-on fucking homophobe, okay? Full-on fucking homophobe, okay? Gays marrying is disgusting. Gay people are disgusting. I'm Jewish and my wife is a doctor. You know how it goes. There are a lot of people out there who unironically believe that Joe Rogan is some sort of like patrician of the thoughts and sciences, where he banties about equally with people from different points of the arena. He just calls out the bullshit where he sees it. He's not. He's a reactionary. And here's him discussing gay marriage with a unabashed homophobe. I say, fully well knowing that I now need to pee. So give me a fucking minute. That bitch with no sass, I love you too. Thanks for the €2. Guys, I did it. Normally when I say I gotta pee, I also need to get more water, and then I go fill up the water, and then I forget the water, and then I come back and see I don't have water, and I go up and get it. But this time, I did it in one swoop. Pretty good, huh? Now this is going to be a fun one, okay? Now this is a 21-minute clip, okay? The only reason I would dignify this clip with this length of time is because Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan are both really big figures. So, let's give it a look. Who the fuck just donated to me? Who the fuck just donated to me? The fuck do you think you are? Lord Huge Not with the $2. Ben Shapiro hates gay people. What else is new? True. And Ciancius. All conservatives fuck children. Ben Shapiro was a child. Is Ben Shapiro being fucked by Jordan Peterson? I don't know if answering that question will get me in line with TOS issues. Thank you very much for the $2, friend. Ciancius. I really appreciate it. It's a strong possibility, okay? We can't deny it. We can't deductively reason that's not the case.
Other thing,
whoa! Let's get it fucking started in here.
So the other thing is same-sex marriage. That's the other thing that I think that we disagree with. Well, we agree with the marriage thing.
Right, on
I
a
don't think
governmental
the
level.
government should be involved. I think where people should be protected is through assets and, you know, that
Contract.
Yes.
And, yeah.
I think that all makes sense to me. All that stuff in terms of like alimony and child support and all those things make sense to me. And
God
the
help
idea that
me.
The community reinforces it, which would then become the government reinforcing all that stuff. That all makes sense to me. I understand. But why do you care if two gay guys want to get married?
Hey there, banana guns. Hold on.
So, from a religious point of view?
Sure, let's go from religious first.
So, why don't we do a secular point of view first? So,
Okay.
the idea is not that I care deeply whether two gay guys to each other. The idea is that do I prefer traditional marriage to same-sex marriage?
Okay, well let me phrase it this way. What do you think a gay guy is? Do you think they're making a choice?
Okay. Apropos of nothing, the question of what do you think a gay guy is pretty fucking funny. Louder?
Or do you think that this is how they were born?
So the religious point of view on this, and I think this is actually just the general conservative point of view on human action generally, is I don't know, meaning that for the vast majority of people, I would assume that they have a biological drive to engage in that behavior. But the traditional sort of...
Hey, Joe and Ben are too quiet. Okay, text stream. How the fuck do I make them louder? No, I'm serious. What do I do? Do I just up the volume on my end? Like this? Is it louder now?
point of view is that biological drive
Is this
not
doing it?
match up to the activity you ought to engage in. Right? Men, for example, have a biological drive to impregnate many women. That's not something religion is cool with.
Is that louder? I genuinely do not know. I am floundering here. I am prostrate before you. If you could kindly inform... So it's not louder then. Okay, so that just manages it fucking client side. Okay. Then I go OBS and I open it up and oh look, my desktop audio is maxed out. So how do you suspect my YouTube volume is maxed out? Then how exactly do you suggest that I up the volume? Make myself quieter? So what? So everyone has to up the volume by and large? I'm getting fucking triggered right now. Equalize by lowering voice volume? Okay. Sure. There. You happy? Do you like it? Does this make you happy? Jesus Christ. Can we actually do this? Can we engage with the subject material?
View on this, and I think this is actually just the general conservative point of view on human action generally, is I don't know. meaning that for the vast majority of people, I would assume that they have a biological drive to engage in that behavior. But the traditional sort of will point of view is that biological drive does not necessarily match up to the activity you ought to engage in. Right? Men, for example, have a biological drive to impregnate many women. That's not something religion is cool with either. Right? So the idea is that
Right, but religion is cool with a man being with one woman and impregnating her, but you're not cool with a man being with a man.
so I can give you the religious explanation,
Yeah,
and I can give you the
please.
secular explanation.
Okay.
So the religious explanation is that there is something different about a woman than there is about a man, and a man is made better through his union with a woman, and that if you pervert the sex drive to pursue mere pleasure instead of a lasting relationship upon which the basis of society is built,
Right there. We got it. We got our first fucking Slippy, and also let me know how the volume bouncing is. Fucking whatever. Okay, we got our first fucking Slippy right here to pervert the. Here, we can listen to that again.
mere with a woman, and that if you pervert the sex drive to pursue mere pleasure instead of a lasting relationship upon which the basis of society is built,
Pervert the sex drive to pursue mere pleasure rather than forming the relationship upon which society is built. Two key problems with this one. Well, actually three. For one, the term pervert is already value loaded. Add a little gain to the desktop. I'm gonna fucking kill you people. I will track you all down one by one. I'm not joking. Stop. Just exist with the audio. Jesus, fuck. So we have that. We have the inherent value statement, and then we have two sort of fallacious preternatural assumptions. For one, the idea that being gay is just chasing pleasure, whereas being straight is not. It's not as though being straight guarantees that you're going to just have the one woman and have sex and have the 2.3 kids, whereas being gay means you're just going to sleep around and sodomize each other through glory hole walls. And secondly, the idea that this very strange assumption that it is the heterosexual man-woman cisgender 2.3 child relationship that is the bedrock foundation of society. This is not the case. Oh, like, you might be able to argue that a strong family unit is the bedrock of modern society. Do we not have plenty of kids who need to be adopted? Is there any harm that is done by letting two people who would otherwise not be making children because they are gay cis men to form up in a relationship and form a union which could conceivably allow them to adopt a child that needs adopting? The idea... You should turn on DVR mode. Maybe I will next time. Thank you, Banana Guns. Appreciate the suggestion. The idea, can you change the face? Hyena. Fucking kick people who keep commenting on the audio balancing.
What?
Kill them.
Okay.
Don't actually do that. That would be unreasonable. You don't need to do that. Okay, so as I was saying, this is a ridiculous, what do you call it, false dichotomy here. The idea that you either have a society in which you encourage heterosexual relationships and marriage and you have the kids and so on, or you have one in which you allow gay men to marry, you promote degeneracy, free sex, and the bedrock of society is perverted. This is a ridiculous assumption. In reality, with gay marriage being legalized, the only consequence here, straight marriages stay exactly the same, there's no change there, but you also open up two gay men to get together and form a more stable union, which can produce better socioeconomic outcomes, which will then subsequently lead to something approximating the bedrock of society that Ben Shapiro is ardently jerking himself off over for forming. Plus, you can have fucking you can adopt kids. There are kids in orphanages. What, you think straight people are going to adopt all those fucking kids? No. We got to get the gay ones too.
then you are foregoing the proper use of your sex drive.
Right, but if you wanted to step
Proper use of your sex drive. This is Ben Shapiro clarifying his gay marriage stance, by the way.
in and argue against that, you would say
I haven't missed anyone's super chat. I'll get to them at the end of the video, you goobers.
that just because someone can't get pregnant doesn't mean that they don't have a loving relationship that contributes to society.
Well, that's true, but it is also foregoing the more productive relationship of being able to bear and rear children. And also,
Implying that if you're gay and you're denied the ability to marry another gay man, that you will then choose to, oh, okay, and just go and marry a woman instead. And that as though the non-existence of legal gay marriages discourages people who would otherwise pursue straight marriages from getting them.
And also
women that are
recognizing that the sexes are not
barren or-
different, right? And recognizing also the sexes are not the same. So, being with a man is in a relationship different than being with a woman, I would assume. I mean, I assume that's why gay guys are gay. If it weren't, then I assume that they would be fine with being with a woman.
Right.
So that relationship from a religious perspective is more valuable because women have different qualities than men. You round off each other's harsh edges. It changes you. I mean, being married changes a man in a different way that being married to a member of the same sex would.
Imagine unironically believing that you're part of the edgy reactionary counterculture when you're positing the same like tired, worn 90-year-old gender stereotypes that have been circulating through society ever since like post World War I era, ever since the American economic boom. Like imagine unironically believing you're counterculture when you're repeating things that were said satirically in like the little cutscene slogans in Fallout or in fucking BioShock. Like that's the if you're expressing an opinion that could be said over jaunty jazz music while a Pip-Boy logo character explains it to you, your opinion is probably not revolutionary.
Right, but I don't want people to have to do it. But if you're,
I'm not forcing anybody, right?
but I want them to have the option. And if you're a gay person, and to say you
talking
don't
legally?
know, no, I mean, of course,
Because legally we agree, right?
Yeah, legally.
And I keep making this distinction because
Yes.
whenever I talk about my moral perspective on things, then people immediately assume that I'm a theocratic fascist. And I just
Right.
want to keep underscoring,
Yes,
like my
thank you.
personal
Ben Shapiro is a theocratic fascist.
views on Dave Rubin's marriage are of no consequence to public policy in any way whatsoever.
Right. But I agree with you on that, and I don't think it should be a part of public policy, and I think people should absolutely be allowed to marry and divorce and do whatever the fuck they want to do, no matter who it is. But why do you care? Like, as a person who's a rational thinker, it's pretty clear that people are gay. And I don't really think that this is a decision they make in terms of, like, I'm going to make a clear choice to defy God and be gay. I think they're just gay.
Well, again, I think that's a conflation
And I don't think
of
it's everyone.
It's a conflation of identity and drive with activity, which is something that religion fundamentally rejects.
Okay.
Right. So religion fundamentally rejects the idea that you are driven to do something. Therefore, it is your identity. Therefore, you get to participate in a behavior. That's a chain of thinking that religion
So
does not
in religion, if a man is gay, in your religion,
Yes.
if a man is gay and they're in love with another man, they should just squash those thoughts and find a woman.
Well, ideally, they would be honest with the woman they marry, so they're not like messing up the
But
woman.
they
But
would.
Yikes. Hey, if you're gay, just marry a woman anyway and tell her. And I guess that sounds like a good way to build a strong family unit, Ben Shapiro. Ugh. By encouraging gay men to just marry women. Do they still have sex? How would they have do you just do all anal? Do you like the guy wears a blindfold and the girl just slides like balls deep to the asshole and we just work with that? And then after the guy nuts, pretending that it's a guy, the woman like reaches down and scrapes up the nut and starts like jamming it into the cunt. Like please, how is the? I would love to know, Benjamin Shippey, how this is a good way to ensure the formation of healthy foundational societal building blocks. Listen, if you're not willing, as a gay man, to marry a straight woman who will spend the rest of her life regretting not marrying a man who can love her truly and sexually, and not marrying a woman who will glue pubes to her asshole so it feels like you're fucking a hairy butt and then you nut. If you're not willing to go that far, okay, what does that say about your love for America? Honestly.
Would want to go
ideally,
and get a woman.
you would still get married and have children in a heterosexual relationship. If you're not up to that, then you wouldn't get married at all.
When you describe this to a gay
Again, Ben Shapiro cannot answer how does it hurt society to allow gay men to form their own marriage unions, which are more stable, more economically reliable, and allow for the rearing of children. How is society worsened by allowing this? Because there is no evidence whatsoever that in the absence of legal gay marriage, that gay men will just like, okay, and marry straight women. That's usually closeted gay men who do this. And that usually leads to very unhappy relationships that lead to divorces or adultery or abuse in some form or another. But this is what Ben Shapiro wants, because anything is better than giving legal credence to the existence of gay people.
Gay man. They will tell you, imagine, Ben Shapiro, if someone said to you, you should stop being with your beautiful wife and you need to now marry a man.
This is a stupid argument from Joe.
Because this is what God wants you to do. So you're going to have to shtup this man, and he's going to shtup you. And because this is how the rules are set up.
Yeah, so far this sounds pretty terrible, sure.
Imagine not being able to say deep anal and having to say shtup instead. Isn't he arguing against Jews doing it, not arguing against it in a social sense? No, he's arguing that for society, he believes through his religious framework that gays shouldn't be allowed to marry because social units and mystical man in the sky and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Well, this is how it sounds to gay folks when you're telling them they have to find a woman. I like
well,
dudes.
I'm not saying you have to find a woman. I'm saying I'm saying you can't do X. Right? I'm not saying you must.
But
find
say
a woman,
can't. But by whose determination?
If you decide to participate in this religion,
right,
then there is a buy-in to the precepts of the religion.
And the buy-in is you can't be gay.
Well, no, the buy-in is that you can have whatever sexual orientation you please, but there's certain activity you can't participate in.
So
this is such a dumb conflation that religious people do. It's so stupid. They think it's really clever. It's not. Oh, we don't have love the sinner, hate the sin. Fuck off with that. Gay people do gay fucking. That's what they do. If you're gay, I'm gay and I'm gay fucking right now. Why do you think the webcam is pointed waist up? There's like 6 dudes down here. It's gay as shit down here. I can't help it. I'm gay. To say, oh no, there's nothing wrong with being gay. Your impulses are fine and natural. You're loved by God. But if you act on them, no. This is a way of engaging in bigotry while pretending to maintain these sort of egalitarian values that you know will get you the least flack publicly. It's like a fucking Pollock painting down here, nut flying in every fucking direction. I can't stop. See, I'm what they call a lazy top. See, I just sit down and do the work, and the 6 femboys underneath just work magic, really.
You can be gay, but you can't have gay sex.
Correct. By the way, that's what the Bible, I mean, if we want to go direct to the text of the Bible, it's what the Bible actually says, right? I mean, even the parts of the Bible that people really hate, those parts say that a man shall not lie with a man. It doesn't say a man can't be attracted to another man.
That's Old Testament, right?
That's right. That's our stuff, right? New Testament, it gets a little harsher in the New Testament in some places, Romans, Corinthians. But in any case, again, when it comes to, this is, what I'm puzzled by is the idea that this is a unique area of human behavior that religion is supposed to treat differently. Meaning religion treats virtually every human activity like this. Sin is a failure to abide by a covenant, right? That's the definition of sin. Right? When you commit a sin in Judaism, in Avera in Judaism, what you are doing is failing to do a mitzvah, which is a commandment. You're violating a commandment. Well, there are lots of commandments that go directly against what people are driven to do. Just because the drive is stronger does not make it more morally.
Is this normal speed? No, this is on 1.25.
non-culpable to violate that commandment. So when people pick this one out and they say, well, this one is particularly intolerant, for example, I don't see why it's more particularly intolerant than saying to a man that you have to marry one woman, or saying to a Jew that you are not allowed to eat this stuff.
Again, this is a super fucking tired argument, but there are so many things in the Old Testament that are sins that nobody fucking pays attention to, like mixed fabrics. Textiles in your clothing. The suggestion that Ben Shapiro is just this religious fundamentalist, this purist, this Orthodox Jew who just, holds all things to the same standard. It's not that he hates gay people. It's that if you fail to meet by the requirements of the covenant, that nonsense. Just as the biblical texts have been revised many, 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 many times since they were originally written, and they were written over the course of hundreds of years too, with the testaments of different followers of Christ and what have you. As so, there was a process, a dialogic process in that creation. So too is there a quite a bit of editing as to what gets constituted as a mortal sin nowadays. So the idea that you're just following the good word of the book and not engaging in any sort of targeted bigotry is ridiculous.
Or it may be harder. I don't think there's any question it's harder to abide by those commandments, but it is well within religious tradition, like literally every religious tradition, that there's a bunch of stuff you are driven to do that you can't. Now, again, you don't have to agree with my program.
Right. Show me the tag on that shirt, Ben Shapiro. That better be 100% cotton, Ben Shapiro. It would be a shame if there was any polyester in that shirt, Ben Shapiro.
I'm not trying to convert you. This is one of the nice things about my religion. I don't give a crap whether people are Jewish or not. Like, we actively discourage converts. But if you're going to proclaim that you are, abiding by traditional Judaism, this is the buy-in, right? There's lots of buy-in. You have to wear a funny hat sometimes. You have to go to shul on Saturdays. You have to keep Shabbat. Like there's a
Funny hat.
lot of buy-in. And as long as I'm not bothering anybody else, I frankly don't see what business it is of legitimately anybody's what I think about personal relationships. I'm not imposing my view on anybody else.
Not imposing my view on anybody else, while he has multiple times very publicly railed on the degeneracy of gay sex, talked about how it's immoral, anti-American, anti-societal. Even his good gay fuck buddy Dave Rubin. We all have seen this little clip, right? I know I would struggle to find it if I tried to. What was it? Kyle Kalinski's Twitter that I saw it linked on. Whatever the case is, where Dave Rubin was like, hey Ben, you'll come to my anniversary party, right? And Ben was like, as long as it's not a gay party for gays.
Well, I do acknowledge that out of all the religions, Judaism probably makes it the most obvious. They don't give a fuck what you do. Go ahead, do your thing. Like, they're not trying to
We're doing our
proselytize.
business. You're doing your business.
My
That's-
uncle converted.
That is not the case. I grew up in a community that was rife with Orthodox Jews. I promise you guys, Jews are just as bad. The only reason why Jewish people aren't just as bad in terms of social harm as Christians or Muslims is because they aren't as big. If there were 1.1 billion Jews, we would get the same horse shit from them that we get from fundamentalist Christians in America or from radical Islam in the Middle East and in Southeast Asia. And I mean, fuck, the one foundationally Jewish country on earth, Israel, is a fucking apartheid ethno state. It's literally a fucking fascist state. So the idea that Jews are all live and let live, no. Any organized religion, you let them get control, you'll get the same negative outcomes. It doesn't matter what they believe in.
And when he converted, it was a grind, man. He had to learn a lot of shit.
It's like 3 years of a grind.
It's a long time,
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
It's a long time.
So that was the religious perspective. On the secular perspective, when it
Oh,
comes
let's
to-
do. Oh, yes. Oh, give me the secular perspective, Ben, because now we got to peddle on facts instead of the feelings of the good book.
valuing traditional marriage over same-sex marriage. That's a very simple calculation, which is one type of marriage produces children in the traditional biological way, and then you have both parents in the house to take care of the kid.
Right.
That's the value of marriage. And
Do we have both parents in the house to take care of the kid under global capitalism, Ben Shapiro? I thought just the mother was supposed to stay home, and now we can't even expect them to do that since rent costs are increasing disproportionate to the average income of the average American.
I fully acknowledge that when the value of marriage shifted from it's about production and rearing of children to it's two people who love each other, the case for same-sex marriage went completely out the window.
Right.
By the way, I like the idea that Ben Shapiro was positing that marriage was originally produced as like a state trying to form cohesive social unions or some shit. Marriage has been around for millennia, and it has served many different social purposes. The idea that its original purpose since the beginning of time was to form this bedrock of modern society, which is the man, the woman, the 2.3 children, the white picket fence, whether you be in America, 1600s England, or negative 400 Jerusalem. It's just, yes, the marriage and the white picket fence. The idea here is ridiculous. It's absurd. Because this is a very subtle way of delegitimizing marriage for love. He's suggesting that marriage has been, for a very long time, a practical measure with religious orientation, which is true, of course, it's always been a religiously oriented thing, but only recently have people had this radical idea to marry one another for love. It subtly suggests that there's some degree of frivolity in or irrationality in the way that marriage is treated currently. Not to mention, it can't account for the fact that gay men are going to exist anyway. Would you rather them die single without being able to take care of fucking orphan kids, or would you rather them pair up, get better tax benefits, have a statistically higher likelihood of getting a better job, less likely to commit crime, and have the potential of raising kids? I guess, maybe if you're Ben Shapiro and you think it's degenerate for a kid to be raised by two men or something.
All right. So you are just sticking to your rigid ideology in terms of what you believe to be a sin and not believe to be a sin based on your religion, based on this very strict moral fiber that this religion is operating
in a religious context, meaning it applies to me.
I'm getting a lot of beep-a-deeps. I'm going to give them a look. I fucking love beep-a-deeps. Mr. Bear Senpai, thank you so much for the $5. My face when Ben tells Dave Rubin he's a dirty degenerate. Ooh, he got the queasies right here in the chest. Rosazio Brown with the $2. Rogan has a weird obsession with trans people. He really, really does. You think he's an egg? Razgriz 8833 with the $2. Shit on them reactionaries, my guy. Love it all, and I love you, friend. Thanks for the support. The Tom God Double Dab for you, friend. That kind of hurt a little. That kind of got my neck in a tizzy. Jonesy Jones with the $10. Thanks for the support, friend. That's really generous of you. Love your work, Vosh. Super proud of how far you come already. Can you please give a shout out to my leftist metal project, Our Riches? I have a new Facebook and Bandcamp under that name. Love ya. Ooh, looks like it's time for me to get all capitalist on you guys because I'm gonna do what I'm asked. I have no idea if what I'm looking at is the correct thing. How do I know? Wait. I'm struggling, but I'm going to try. Did I do it? I think I did it. All right, you pieces of shit. Look at this. Our Riches. Is this an album? Is this a thing? This might not even be them. I have no idea. But I'm sure that if you look for a thing called Our Riches, you'll be very pleasantly surprised by the quality of their music. I have no idea. Is this it? I don't know. I'll never know, probably. But we can only hope. And if it's not, I'm sorry. I love you. Frim should have given me a link. Yeah, I do like the album art. Ooh, yes. Just refresh the whole page. Let me lose my place. Brenna Booth with the £2. Open up 2 gay men. Boom. I'd like to. Ciancias. I'm an anarchist trans woman currently in a poly relationship with another trans woman. Some know what Ben considered to be gay. Besides becoming black, is there any way that can make Ben Shapiro hate me more? How could you make Ben Shapiro hate you more? You could go and meet him at some sort of rally or young conservative meetup, and then you can reach down and snatch his kippah, yarmulke off of his head and toss it like a frisbee. That'd probably really fucking upset him, actually. Lord Hugenot with the $5. No LGBTQ people are allowed in my Roblox for it. My dad owns the Yakuza, and he will ban you from Fortnite for 72 hours. Ben Shapiro. I'm pretty sure... Don't make light of this. Ben Shapiro's dad will not stop at 72 hours. That's a solid perma from Epic Games. Furbinder with the €2. What do you know about the Basque country? Absolutely nothing. Sorry. MLG Bernie Sanders with the $2 dues. Love the stream, mate. Reactionaries use the same arguments over and over to say horrible things to own the libs. Then you have the nerve to call you an NPC. Also, I studied bioengineering, and I know that you guys do social studies are loved by me. Love you. I love you too, friend. Thank you. And Thomas with the £3. I posted the link to the Ruben Sharpie clip in chat. Well, the chat's moving pretty fast, my friend. Maybe we'll look at it later. All right, I gotta catch up because I love you people. Okay, and I rely upon your support.
It applies to my family.
You believe to be a sin and not believe to be a sin based on your religion, based on this very strict moral fiber that this religion is operating
in a religious context, meaning it applies to me, it applies to my family, it doesn't apply to you.
Right, but is there any room for...
The implication that Ben Shapiro has only ever advocated that Jewish people not engage in gay marriage is fucking hysterically dishonest, by the way.
Growth in that when people have a better understanding about biology. Like, if it was proven, if there's proven, like, oh, this is why a person develops blue eyes, this is why a person is gay, this is why, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just a variation. No, it's red hair, it's freckles, it's gay, it's straight.
You can tell me that...
Do we have someone in chat who wants to debate? Get them in my Discord, get them in the appropriate voice channel, and maybe I'll talk to them. Actually, why not? Uber Kane WA. Why? You know what? It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. But I'm always open. I'm always open for you. My good friend. My champion in arms. Uber Kane WA. Do not waste even a moment more of my time, my love. For too long have we been separated by a balcony's distance. Please, get in that Discord. Let's chat this out. Let's chat this out, friend. There's a channel in my Discord under Vox Gamers called Join to Argue with Vosh. You think you can handle it? Do you think you can find that channel? What's the name of this person? Uber Kane WA. Uber Kane WA. Don't keep me waiting. I'm going to get real angry if you keep me waiting. Mods, find one of their posts. If they keep me waiting for too long, we ban them. I get bored so quickly.
He says link.
Link? It's in the fucking video description. It's below the video. What do you want from me? Eh? Yeah, go for it. I want to draw fan art of Vosh. What should I draw? Safe for work or not safe for work? That's a critical difference right there, my friend. How does Shapiro hate gays? Have you been watching the video? Silent Pain 11 with the 10 euros. If you lend money to any of my people with you who is poor, you should not be like a moneylender to him, and you should not exact interest from him. Exodus 22:25. Old Testament capitalists are sinners. Yeah. You know what Jesus say? It is easier for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter heaven. Even back in biblical times, good woke boy Jesus understood that to be wealthy is to hoard wealth from those who need it more. Oh, we got him. Let's do it. Let's do it. Never been more excited in my life. Here, let me pump up the jams. Pump up the volume. Ooh, there we go. Oh my God, it's getting so loud so quick. Buddy, you're live on air. Oh wait, I'm not audible. Hold on.
Hello.
Buddy, how you doing?
Hey, mate. How you going?
I'm doing wonderfully. All right, you gonna spam the N-word at me, or are we gonna have an actual discussion?
No. So what? Okay, so I've actually lied. I've been spamming this shit for the last 30 minutes, but I'm trying to listen to your stream on my phone, and it's really fucking quiet. So can I get you to open your OBS on stream for me really quickly? Promise I won't fuck you up. I've been at this for 30 minutes, bro. I'm fully expecting to cop a fat ban, but I'm trying to watch it while I do my jobs, alright?
This is very bad for my blood pressure.
I'm very sorry.
All right.
But, yeah.
Okay, I've opened OBS on stream.
Okay, so under your volume, sorry, can you flick to that scene? There you go. Right-click your desktop audio.
Yeah.
There's a little settings thing near the where the max volume is. You basically need to go to filters.
Right.
And add a filter.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the stream to catch up. So with the little plus there should do the trick.
All right.
Now I need you to add gain. Gain is volume.
All right. I did it.
And yep, okay.
And now I can pump up the volume.
And so you can do that for any part of your stream. The higher you pump it up, the worse it'll sound, but at least I'll be able to hear you in future. I'm sorry to fuck you around, but yeah, it was doing my head in.
You're playing a dangerous game. I hope you understand that.
I was fully expecting to cop a ban, but I would just swap accounts and watch anyway. Sorry, mate.
Thank you very much, friend. I appreciate the advice.
Have fun. Next time I'll donate to do it.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Cool. I love it. Okay, let's try out this new audio. Filters. We got gain upped by, let's put it up by 6 decibels, I guess. 6.3. Okay, let's see if this goes.
better understanding about biology. Like,
Let me know how the audio is.
If it was proven, if there's proven like, oh, this is why a person develops blue eyes, this is why a person is gay, this is why, there's nothing wrong with it,
Right.
it's just a variation.
No,
it's
yeah.
red hair, it's freckles, it's gay, it's straight.
You can tell me that homosexual orientation is 100% biologically driven, and I will almost completely agree with that. I think that there's some cases where it's not, but those are rare.
But
This is
do you think
particularly true. By the way, the research tends to show that there's more sexual fluidity among females than males. Males, it tends to be either heterosexual or homosexual.
That research is all done by dudes who want their wives to hook up with chicks, but keep going.
Some people are saying it's too loud, and some people are saying it needs to be quieter. Can you make up your fucking minds?
don't let me stop you. But
Honey, let me just show you the paperwork. There's nothing wrong.
But again, it's a question that I've always found actually not particularly interesting, simply because it doesn't take into account the worldview generally, which is that a biological drive does not equal excuse for behaving in a certain way.
But that's where...
Again, okay. Wait. My voice is too loud. I fucking hate you people. I really hope you understand that I really hate you people. I'm not fucking joking. I actually... Oh, my impotent hatred is... my blood pressure. Ben, shut up. Ben, shut up. Ben Shapiro keeps engaging in the same faulty line of argumentation here, where he's saying that, oh, well, just because you have a biological impulse to this thing or this thing, it doesn't mean that you have an excuse to do it. But he at no point has he provided a secular argument against gay marriage. We are 9 minutes and 30 seconds into this, and all he has said so far is that, oh, well, it's bad if you're religious, even though the religious books that he draws that from are interpreted hypocritically, and literally everyone knows that. He said, oh, well, they don't form the ideal social building block, implying that A, marriage has ever been used to form an ideal social building block, rather than being a weird and complicated intersection of a bunch of social and religious variables. And 3, he's argued that, oh, well, just because you want to do it doesn't mean that's an excuse to do it. He has not presented in 9.5 minutes. This is Ben Shapiro, people. This is supposed to be the fucking intellectual heavyweight of the reactionary right. This is people, when I go on the fucking videos, when I talk on stream, and I'm like, oh, I could beat Ben Shapiro in a debate, huh? And then people in the comment sections are like, this guy thinks he could beat Ben Shapiro? This is who they're talking about. Someone who, in 9 minutes and 30 seconds, cannot make anything even approximating a convincing argument concerning the secular unviability or unethicality of gay marriage.
Brings me back to this. Like, is it possible that these laws in this religion were written when they're... I mean, who do you think wrote the stuff? Do you think people wrote the stuff, or do you think God?
I think either way, even if it were, I mean, because I am an Orthodox Jew, I believe that at the very least it's God inspired and God written, right? But even if I believed on a secular level that human beings wrote that stuff, do I think that people 3,000 years ago had never seen a gay person before?
Do
or a
you
person
think
who had
that they
homosexual tendencies?
understood?
Like, the very reason to have a commandment is because certain people in your community are behaving in a particular way, presumably.
Right.
There's no commandment not to take your head and shove it in a meat grinder.
Well, this is also the argument against pork. It's because they...
I know. Stop. Every time you say, I know. I always know.
I'm letting you know so you can pause.
I don't pause. I don't fucking care. Let him rot.
They didn't understand trichinosis. They didn't understand you have to cook the meat to 145 degrees and pork parasites, which are very dangerous for people.
So I'm not a huge fan of naturalistic explanations for religion.
Do you think that's a good one, though, for pork?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think you could make an argument maybe.
There's a kid who just died in India, and there was horrific x-rays of his head. He had parasites from pork that had gotten into his body, and they had nested in his brain, started developing all these cysts inside of his head, and they couldn't do anything about it because it was so deep in his head that if they gave him the anti-parasitic medication, it would cause swelling of the brain, and it was so
how you feeling about
so
bacon
far
right now?
gone.
Does he tell the story?
It's actually pig shit, apparently.
Oh,
It's
that sounds
people
not great.
accidentally coming in contact with pig shit produces this particular type of parasite.
Yeah. That's
What? Okay. What is it? Okay.
kosher
It's
either.
more rare. But,
Yeah,
but trichinosis was pretty common
well,
for
again,
a long time.
their attempts to
Like what the fuck just happened? I like had a brownout in my fucking brain for a second. It's Ben Shapiro, so he's talking and he's talking very quickly, and my brain browns out, and I come down from this stupefied high, and they're talking about somebody ate shit and got pork worms in the brain. Do I need to rewind? What? Okay. All right. Okay. We're good. Let's keep going.
sort of paint back into the Bible certain rationalistic explanations.
Doesn't that make sense though?
I think.
Why else would it be bad to eat pigs? Like Jesus loves pigs? Is that what's going on?
Well, I think that the reversal of the kosher laws in the New Testament, from a Jewish point of view, where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ, I think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written,
he was just a prophet. No,
we don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble, just like a lot of other Jews at that time who were crucified for trying to lead revolts against the Roman and got killed for their trouble.
So he became legend in story, and it became a bigger and bigger deal as time went on.
Yeah, he had a group of followers, and then that.
Is that it? Are we really done about talking about gay marriage? I wasted my time. I wasted precious minutes of my mortal life looking at this video, and the first 10 minutes was Ben Shapiro failing to make a single secular argument against gay marriage, and that's it? Are we done with that?
Gradually grew, and then I'm not super shocked by that, but the basic contention that I make is that Judeo-Christian values on the one hand, and then human reason on the other, Greek reason.
Okay, no, he's going to say more stupid shit down the line. Let's keep going.
And then
do you think he was resurrected?
No, that's not a Jewish belief.
Okay, I just want to check.
Yeah, no, we're not into
You're not
we're not into miracle
zombies?
stories. No, that's
No?
not. No.
Do you don't have any miracles?
No,
in here?
not by Jesus. Right?
No?
They're ones
But
in the Old
God
Testament.
ones?
Yeah, you've got Moses splitting the sea and all that.
What do you think happened there?
What do I think happened there?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go with the Maimonidean explanation that there was. It says in the Bible there was a strong east wind. So there's a naturalistic explanation for a physical phenomenon.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's what Maimonides is constantly trying to do: is read nature back into the Bible.
Yeah. That is the problem with these texts, right? Is that you're trying to decipher translations from original texts, which were written in ancient Hebrew thousands of years ago and were told in an oral tradition for longer than that.
Right. I mean, this is where, my book, which I always hesitate to pitch my own stuff because it sounds gauche.
Pitch away.
But the new book, The Right Side of History, #1 New York Times bestselling nonfiction book.
Wait a minute, you got #1 in the New York Times best-selling? Really?
Yeah, we sold enough that we knocked Michelle Obama out of the #1 slot for a week.
I hate this fucking world. God fucking help me. Imagine unironically reading something Ben Shapiro has written. That would actually be a fun stream, wouldn't it? For me to buy The Right Side of History and then read it on stream and do with a little red pen be like, "Ooh, see me after Clash, Benjamin."
Week, so that was nice.
Is there a protest?
Well, no protest yet, but suffice it to say the New York Times book reviewer didn't like it, but I'm not super shocked by that. But the basic contention that I make is that Judeo-Christian values on the one hand, and then human reason on the other, Greek reason, really, that tradition is a tension, and that tension is where Western civilization lives. That basically civilization is a suspension bridge. It takes certain fundamental precepts of Judeo-Christian values on the one hand, and then takes Greek reason, and they're pulling against each other. And sometimes reason feels like it's going to dominate religion, and sometimes it feels like religion is going to dominate reason. But in the best of all available worlds, you have a bridge that is capable of building upon.
For those of you who are interested in this specific line of argumentation and why it's fucking stupid, please take a look at another YouTube blitio that I did. Blitio. Why has the West been so successful? Religions. This some dumbass shit. He did a fucking PragerU video on this, and it's really fucking stupid. It's full of logical inconsistencies. Basically, it's like he made a fucking stacked card house. And then if you look at it closely, it turns out that every single card is actually a venereal slice of diarrhea. Something that's been shaved off the edge of a fat shit by a potato peeler. And you look, and it's all, that's it. That's all of it. And then you consume it or something. I don't know. It's really bad, guys. Watch my videos. Buy my book. I don't have one. Go buy another person's book and then mail me the money you spent on their book. It'll be like you bought my book, okay?
Can actually have a functional civilization. And if you lose reason in the name of theocracy, then you end up with tyrannical theocracy. And if you lose religion in the name of reason, you end up in some pretty dark places because human beings don't have a very good track record of creating their own purpose, creating their own meaning, creating their own systems. We tend to get very utopian very quickly, and things get really ugly, which is sort of the story of particularly the first half of the 20th century.
unironically suggesting that human civilization can't exist without religion. I know he's a fucking Orthodox Jew, but yay.
So this is the benefit of sticking to the rigid ideology that's prescribed by religion, is that you don't allow the human beings to keep updating it and changing it, because if you do, they will eventually slide into chaos.
Well, yes, but which is not to say there's not play in the joints, right? I mean, there's certainly, religion has morphed over time. I mean, Judaism as it was practiced originally probably in many ways does not resemble Judaism as practiced now.
Right.
I mean, in fact, the Talmud even
boring.
says this. I mean, there's this kind of fascinating and counterintuitive section of the Talmud where Moses is what is called the Gadatah, which is some of these stories that are just kind of put into the middle of the Talmud, where Moses comes back.
I'm bored.
Yeah. The real problem is, like, why is it a sin? Like, who says it's a sin?
So again,
these rules you were assuming are influenced by God.
Right.
But clearly,
Islam even has this basic precept.
right, when I think we can agree that there's some real benefits to discipline. There's real.
And I mean,
Nope, I don't care. I like Joe Rogan, by the way. So for those of you who believe that Joe Rogan is like this a patrician, sees both sides, whatever. He, like, Ben Shapiro full on believes that gay people are disgusting and degenerate and that he doesn't want to be around them. And Joe Rogan can have this civil conversation with Ben and let Ben ramble on for 20 minutes about a religious justification for prohibiting gay marriage and dancing around the topic as to whether or not a secular argument can be made. Joe Rogan will be fine with that, but fucking Adam from Adam Ruins Everything comes on there and says that like the alpha male beta male shit is completely scientifically unfounded, and Joe Rogan loses his shit and goes fucking bananas and throws bananas around. What's this?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
What I wanted to talk to you guys about is...
Oh my god, this one's louder. How... This production makes millions. How the fuck can they not get consistent audio balancing on their videos? Okay, I guess we'll bring it back down. Guys, look, I'm doing it. I'm using OBS.
Some of my favorite stuff that you've done. And some of my favorite stuff you've done is the undercover shit. And one of the things that I found the most...
talking with Steven Crowder. Hey, apparently Joe Rogan's a big fan of... Joe Rogan's a big fan of Steven Crowder's undercover content. Like this... Wait, haha. Get ready for it, guys. Are you ready to bust a gut laughing? Let's see. Where is it exactly? I know. Yeah, hidden cam, pregnant transgender at Planned Parenthood. This is the height of comedy. This is the height of comedy to which Joe Rogan is referring, where Steven Crowder dresses up like a woman and pretends to be a pregnant transgender woman, and then proceeds to intimidate and confuse Planned Parenthood clinic workers for like 5 minutes in a really fucking cringy video. This is the shit that Joe Rogan is here for. This is that high quality Steven Crowder trying to come back up with it ever since your comedy show on Fox got canceled. I guess you make do, right? God help me. Let's do it. Just press the fucking... There we go. That's about all we need. Tony Alley. Yeah. I'll catch up on the thingy. Here, we'll do it right now. Please share your thoughts on abortion and South Australia. I have literally no idea what the fuck is going on in South Australia, so I can't help you with that one. But on abortion, it's impossible for me to answer whether or not it's ethical. I don't know. Human life start when, where. I don't have strong opinions on this. All I do know is that we get much better social outcomes when abortion is legalized, because people are going to do it anyway, and there are strong socioeconomic arguments one could make. A Jew for You donated $5. Thank you. I love you, Vosh. Well, fuck. I love you too, A Jew for You. Mr. Bear Senpai with the $2. Wow, Vosh, way to let us all get blue balled with some random Aussie. Here's money to help with that stroke Chat's about to give you. Thanks for the $2. Really. Ooh, I can rub my temples with the hypothetical two $1 bills and the cool paper crispy thin dosh. Oh, helps me calm down. Tony Alley, thanks again for the €2. I'm sorry I can't give you a more substantive opinion on this issue. If there's something in particular happening in South Australia with abortion, then I'll have to research more about it before I can really comment on it. With that being said, please, God, let this be a more interesting fucking interview. If I have then I can go to Tim Pool after this, maybe? Flever the Dragon Romper in chat. Nope, sorry, I've been fucking burned too many times. Seriously? Like two times out of 3 or maybe more when somebody says, hey, I really want to debate you, it's a fan of mine who just wants to talk with me. Uber Kane Wah, thanks for the 2 Australian... Speak of the devil. Thanks for the 2 Australian bucks. Sorry about before. Consider Streamlabs OBS instead. I have considered it. I'm getting a new computer soon, okay? It'll be able to handle the increased bandwidth. Can we focus?
Disturbing was when you two posed as a gay couple and you went to that place where they were advocating transgender children and transitioning children as young as 3 years old. Right?
I don't know if it was 3 years old, but puberty blockers they were talking about.
Yeah, but I think it was really...
I like that, by the way. Right, okay, so right off the bat. Okay, listen. Like somebody in chat said earlier, Joe Rogan is really fucking weird about trans people. Steven Crowder hates trans people. A beautiful union of minds, okay? So, right off the bat, Joe Rogan is like, yeah, they were trying to transition kids at 3. And Steven Crowder has to be like, no, they weren't 3. Also... it was puberty blockers. Like puberty blockers and transitioning are 2 completely different things. Jesus Christ. This is like saying like, hey, yeah, so I went to this I went to this like a PTA meetup and they were discussing like the benefits of how to raise your kids, and one of the women there was saying that like just beating the shit out of your kid, just hammering the shit out of them was a good way to was a good way to like discipline your kid. And then someone else corrects like, actually no, she meant spanking, like you pop like that, pop.
Fucking yeah. No, you know what? Actually, 3 years old was Owen Benjamin got in an argument on Twitter and lost his manager because he was saying that someone is fucking insane for giving puberty blockers to a 3-year-old kid, for giving hormone blockers to a baby. Yeah. Which I am, fuck yeah, that's not even a strong enough word. I mean, it's insanity. Fucking insanity. I mean, you're...
Opposing gay marriage and saying gay couples are degenerate? People got opinions. Mishearing some story about forcing 3-year-olds to transition. Fucking disgusting, dude. The things degenerates are gonna...
Your body's not even developed. You're not even close. We're not talking about 18. We're not even talking about 21.
Unpopular opinion, spanking is beating your kid. Yeah, spanking is beating your kid. But there's a difference between spanking and beating your kid. Let's be real here.
One, which is arguable, still crazy. Like, you really should probably wait until your fucking frontal cortex fully develops to figure out who you...
Nobody is giving puberty blockers to 3-year-olds, by the way. Like, puberty doesn't even start until you're like 8, 9, 10. Nobody is giving fucking puberty blockers to 3-year-olds.
You are. But the idea that you're going to know at 3 who you're going to be when you're 30.
Well, they present the other side.
Bananas.
They act as though you're crazy. That was what they were like, well, you know, the thing is with the puberty... Remember that person looked like Smee? Looked like Smee from Hook.
Well, let's play
Smee
it.
with Hook,
let's play some of it because it's fucking nuts. When I watched it, I was like, oh my God, like, what are these people saying? And
it's been taken down since you asked me about that too.
Really?
Yeah, we have to set the blurt the guy. Well, I'm not afraid.
Who
Rex
took it down?
Butt. Rex Butt. Dr. Rex Butt, who shows up in Pride Parades. His name is Rex Butt.
That is hilarious.
Kid you not.
We're not in a real world. We're in a goddamn simulation.
It was a town. This was a town hall.
We're in a simulation. This can't be real. A guy, his name is Rex Butt.
And he got YouTube
what do you
to
do
take
for
it
a
down.
living? You know.
And YouTube acquiesced to Rex Butt.
Son. Okay, let's play some of this, and if there's, for most of the people are listening rather than watching. So
Not Jared, you know what this is? Because you gave him the...
No,
so hold on, let's set this up.
What are you saying? Just say, fucking talk about the issue. Stop jerking each other off.
And so what was this?
Okay. It was, well, not gay Jared and I. So here's the one. Can I preface this with something?
Yes.
We don't, like, we're not undercover journalists. So
Right.
we do a late night show. That's what we do. We do the monologue, we do joke sketches, and we do interviews, and then...
Comedy. Remember the comedy segment from the most recent Steven Crowder video that we looked at where he just like did a black guy's voice like 4 times over the course of a video and it was really cringy and fucking awkward?
every now and then we stumble across something, and when you're doing, for example, like Antifa, and they hand you a knife and they talk about shooting Ben
We'll talk
Shapiro.
about that too.
But the point is, and then when the media just lies about it, like we feel compelled to. This isn't our thing.
Right.
It just
This,
is
in
one
fact,
of many
this particular
things.
one was kind of a throwaway.
It was a throw. We were joking. It was a goof. It was
we didn't even bother with costumes. We just walked in and said we're queer.
It was what the healthcare transgender town hall. We were like, oh my
It was
god.
a transgender town hall.
Transgender town
Where
hall.
was it at?
Vermont.
Vermont.
Yeah.
Burlington, Vermont.
Oh, that place is crazy.
Oh, I was on the plane with Bernie Sanders on the way there too. It was.
Give me your money. I'm gonna give it to the blacks.
Joe Rogan, the centrist, you know, connoisseur of all sides, laughing and joking with Steven Crowder, and oh yeah, Bernie Sanders, he's gonna steal your money and give it to the blacks. Yes, ooh, that good centrist energy coming from Joe Rogan. Ooh.
Okay, give money to the blacks. It's a human right.
They're fucking. Oh my god, they're keeping with it. Oh man, they're keeping the combo. Let's keep it going.
Okay, give money to the blacks. It's a human right.
Let's play.
All right.
He's about 6 now. He has said that it feels like a girl, prefers playing with dolls, and of course we don't want to discourage it. We spoke with our primary care physician. He said wait until the boy is fully developed.
We made all
That's
this.
right.
That's right.
Fully developed is a little vague.
That's me.
And I would say a little inaccurate from the research.
A little inaccurate from the research I've done.
It's so late.
The kid
18's too late.
desists, then it's just like, okay, get rid of the puberty blockers. They just go through late puberty.
That's it.
Everything's still lined up. There's no indication there's any damage.
That's not true.
No.
They're lying, by the way. They're watching this. This is like one of the undercover Steven Crowder clips or whatever, and they're commenting over it, and they're lying. Everything that the people here are saying is completely true.
Puberty blockers are not reversible. That's the entire point.
That's not the point.
Child,
It's the opposite.
the young someone at the pre-adolescent age going into those adolescent.
It's going to change the way your body develops. No
of
question
course.
at all.
Of
Yeah, I
course.
mean, there's no way giving a kid a puberty blocker, letting them go through life with a puberty blocker, and then at 17 or whatever the fuck it is, decide to take that shit off. You're going to be the exact same human being you would have been
Yeah,
without
these are
that.
the same people were.
You will be. Here. All right. For those of you who don't know, let's do it. It's paint time. Okay? All right. We're going to draw my life. Okay? Look, we're doing it. All right? Here's my life. Okay? Let's fucking do it. All right? So we're going to, first we got to establish the Y. That's a click. The Y axis. Okay? All right? So here's me being a man. And here is me being a lady. Do I need to explain to all of you that I don't believe in the gender binary and I'm using this incredibly simplistic and reductive example just to illustrate the problem that Steven Crowder and Joe Rogan are railing into here, and that a reality gender is much more complicated than this? Do I need to explain this to you? No, I do not. Okay. So right here at this point, this little neutral center point of perfect androgyny, we have little baby boy me. Little baby Vosh, okay? So here's me at 0 years old. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm starting to develop a few gendered characteristics. Not many, though. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we hit 10, okay? Vosh really hit the fucking ball at 10, okay? Then we hit 10. Boo! Okay? Well, it wasn't really like that. It was probably more like this, okay? And then we hit puberty, and then we fucking... And here's where we're at, okay? And here's where we're at today, all right? I am pretty solidly masculine here. Okay? I did it. We made it. We did it, okay? Kids, pre-puberty individuals, tend to be pretty fucking androgynous. This little zone right here, because most gendered characteristics aren't really developed until you hit puberty. So, let's say, for example, that we're still me, we're still Vosh. However, when I was 8 years old, so like hereabouts, Okay, when I was like 8 years old, I was like, hey, you know, I kind of like dresses and lipstick and high heels and stuff, and I like to play like princess or whatever. And my parents think this wouldn't have been the case back in like the early 2000s, but if we move things up like 20 years or so, my parents think like, hey, my boy Vosh is kind of acting like a fucking trans girl. So what they can do is then, let's say I'm 8, okay? And right here at 8, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still right here. My parents can take me to go see a therapist or a specialized, specifically trained medical practitioner. And with the recommendation of that practitioner, I can get put on hormone blockers, okay? This is the hypothetical hormone blocker zone. And 8, by the way, is pretty early for this. I'm saying 8 because I hit puberty early. Because I'm all, you know, oh, big boy. But let's say I get the puberty blockers, okay? So what this does is it means that I then, for a little while longer, continue on the trend that I would have. I don't want there to be a dip there. I would have continued on the trend that I would have if I hadn't hit puberty, okay? So let's say now that I'm 13, okay? I'm 13. I now know enough about my identity to know for a fact what kind of people I'm interested in sexually. I have a better understanding of my own identity and the things that I'm interested in. My mental development hasn't been slowed by the hormone blockers at all. It's not like I'm kept a child or anything. Just some aspects of my hormonal development have been retarded. An accurate word to use in this situation, if perhaps a little silly. So here I am at 13, and now I have two choices, okay? All right? Either I throw my hands up at my parents and I go like, hey, I know we've been doing this for a little while. I actually feel like a dude, all right? I went through a phase or whatever. I'm feeling pretty doodly right now. Yeah, got some really good pit stink going on. I think I want to have just a massive hairy fucking body, okay? I get taken off the hormone blockers, and instantly my thyroid, which has been bulging inside of me like a pair of ripe fucking blue-balled nuts, explodes, and I head right back up to where I would have otherwise. All available evidence suggests that this is the case. No long-term damage, a quick return to where you would be otherwise. The literal only thing that happens if you put your kid on hormone blockers and then take them off is they just spend more time being kind of like an androgynous kid. Doesn't make them stupider, doesn't make them like weird or fucked up later. This is a completely safe procedure, okay? And then, of course, we have the alternate option. At 13, I'm like, hey, I'm really glad you put me on hormone blockers because I feel like a girl. I think I'm a girl. Vosh is a girl. Vosh is okay? It's lady time, all right? And then, with the help of HRT and other feminizing hormones, I get to go through the opposite. And then I get to be girl Vosh, which is like me now, but with big boobies. Big boobies. Okay? Look at that. Beautiful. It's, dabs. It's lady time. So, why are hormone blockers important? Well, the reason why hormone blockers are important is because imagine that that hypothetical trans girl Ian hadn't gone on hormone blockers. Okay? So we are now in this timeline. This one, the one where I took the same biological track that I did now. Okay? And I experience male puberty starting at 10. Okay? So we start with male puberty, right? And this whole time, I am confused and fucking upset about all the shit that's happening to my body. My enormous penis, which grew pretty much with my age, 8, 9, 10, 11 inches soft. My very hairy body, I'm quite hairy. My tremendous, irresistible physical strength. My incredibly deep voice. All of these things, all of them, oh, did I dox myself? Whatever. It was already pretty much publicly known. So, my very deep voice, all of these things distress me. Right here. This is distressing, okay? If you are a trans girl, listen, imagine if you're a boy in the audience right now, okay? If you're a dude, if you identify as a dude, imagine like growing up and seeing like big fucking titties pop out of you, okay? And you're like weak and you have a soft voice and like, I mean, like this thing, if you feel like you shouldn't feel that way, that shit is upsetting, okay? So not only if I don't go through hormone blockers is this shit upsetting, but say I hit 13 right here, and I come up to my parents, and I'm like, hey, I want to transition. I'm a fucking girl. I want to transition. For me to get here is much harder. Like, and the degree to which I am capable now of presenting as a woman depends on a ton of factors. I'm a really naturally masculine person. I'm tall. I have really broad shoulders. I have a really strong natural physiology. I don't work out or anything, but like even without working out, my stats are pretty high. Even with, how'd my chapstick get down here? Did I knock it off while pounding the desk? Probably. Even with HRT and the help of other feminizing procedures, it's going to be much more difficult for me to reach this sort of idealized, societally validated degree of femininity. This is why hormone blockers are important. They harm nobody. Literally nobody gets hurt. No moves are made without the counseling of a therapist or a specialized medical practitioner. They prevent a fuck ton of dysphoria, self-harm, suicide, suicidal ideation, anxiety, and depression by keeping people who aren't out as trans yet from experiencing a puberty they don't want to experience. They give trans people the ability to much more easily reach a body type they consider ideal, and if you decide not to fucking transition, you can go right back to where you would otherwise. What's the difference between this timeline and this timeline? So I spend my high school a little bit like a little bit less gendered, a little bit more androgynous. So what? I would have gotten laid like gangbusters anyway with my fat fucking dick. All right? Easy. This is it. This is it. We did it. Okay? We get it? Do we do it? Somebody says there's a chud in chat. Is there anyone in chat right now, anyone whatsoever, who has a problem with this and wants to argue it with me? A single person. Because this is settled medical science. Oh, you banned the people who disagreed with me? That's probably for the best. Anyone who disagrees with this is an idiot or a bigot. There is no alternative. This is settled medical science. Hormone blockers are very well researched and studied. .368 Sounds and Noises Co. Uh-oh. 368 Sounds and Noises Co. Do you want to talk about it? Oh, you have a question? You don't want to debate and you don't disagree? Okay, what's your question? This is it. This is my power hour. Let's do it. Ask me your question. In the meantime, I'll fucking close this. Let me respond real quick. Razgriz8833 with the $5 through Super Chat. Crowder looks like that D-bag from high school who never stopped doing That's What She Said jokes and keeps trying to fuck this. Well, possibly. Pink Diamond, thanks for the $2. React to, is it wrong to disagree with LGBT? Love you? Yeah, why not? Sure. Give a peek at that. Why the fuck not? Hideyoshi Deluge with the 2.79 Canadian dollars. Are there any reasonable conservatives? No, there just aren't. Alan Hannigan with the $2. What's up, dude? Sending my contribution. Love you. I love you too, friend. And MLG Bernie Sanders with the $5. Fuck these guys. Joe Rogan is a piece of shit. Does he not understand that them blatantly lying about this issue makes trans hate worse? A group that's already deeply marginalized, we hate it even more. Fuck Steven too, but I expect that from the massive con. I honestly think Joe Rogan is just as bad, if not worse, because his veneer of neutrality enables their rhetoric so much worse. And Tori, thanks for the 2 New Zealand bucks. Chud and chat, so I have been made aware. I really appreciate the support, guys, as always, and I apologize for jumping around a bunch. All right, what the fuck did I say? Vosh, I don't think it's wrong, but I want to point out you might never get to the lady side if you go to the man side. Yeah, but I don't want to, like, be discouraging to all the fucking trans girls in chat who didn't get hormone blockers. Fuck that. No. There are plenty of really hot fucking trans girls who didn't go on hormone blockers and who experienced male puberty. Have faith. Julian Roja. With the $5, true, and delaying sex hormones will stop the body from slowing down bone growth, so individuals will usually be taller. Seems like a benefit to me. Interesting. I didn't know that. I would have to look more into the science before I felt comfortable regurgitating that point. But if it's true that taking hormone blockers makes you taller, whew, that's an argument right there, ain't it? Ciancius, you're not discouraged on my watch. I'm an ally or something. I don't fucking know. I want the hot trans audience. I do want the hot trans audience. And the trans audience that isn't as comfortable with their appearance. And literally everyone else. I want everyone, okay? Take a look at Tasmania and non-binary default birth certificates just brought in. I will have to look at that later. So who was that person who said they wanted to have a question? I'm waiting on that question. In the meantime, let's continue. I know we get distracted easily. So, 368 replied. I guess I can sum it up like, if I was born with a penis, not a trans girl, but simply questioning as a prepubescent, then taking hormone blockers would block development of my male sexual traits? Yeah. For a time. For like a couple years. Or even less. In most cases, hormone blockers aren't going to be applied for multiple years in a row. They're usually just as a sort of delaying process to give the child more time to make a decision about their preferred gender identity. But it doesn't do any like long term. Maybe you'll get laid less in high school because your little pee-pee can't get as big and hard. I think that's a small price to pay to potentially prevent like massive fucking physiological and psychological problems later in life. How can I help left tubers? I have a lot of dumb followers. Well, you can always send them over to my stream. I don't know. I think we got a pretty good stream going on here. Maybe, possibly, apart from all the cutouts and the fact that I don't know how to work OBS and that I'm generally clueless. I think we're pretty okay over here. All right, let's keep it going. Wouldn't this be the same as the damage caused by not taking hormone blockers? No. This is very much settled science. There is no evidence of people who are on hormone blockers experiencing gender dysphoria at all. But there is evidence of gender dysphoria in trans people who undergo puberty that they don't want to undergo, which is bad enough to lead to suicide. The two just aren't comparable in that respect. Like, I'm not saying that there can never be any issues whatsoever with taking hormone blockers. Of course, potentially, there are always going to be some side issues where maybe potentially someone would have preferred to have their big erectongo in high school or something, or big floppy boobers. But that doesn't really change the fact that the potential harm that is being prevented is just leagues worse. Just leagues worse. What are the side effects of hormone blockers? There aren't any. There are none. It just prevents you from going through puberty for a bit. But the puberty is inevitable. Once you get off the hormone blockers, the puberty comes. Okay, and I want to say thank you for answering my questions and not banning me. I'm trying to understand. No, of course. Hey, I don't ban people who disagree with me. I ban people who shout fucking racial slurs. If my mods ban you guys, that's not my fault. They're fucking trigger happy. I'm just trying to stream.
Worried about little estrogen in milk cartons. So
yeah, I mean, this guy's saying, is it BPA-free plastic? Because I don't want it to alter my hormones. By the way, I'm going to chop off my balls and do puberty blockers at 8.
Well,
nobody's asking anyone to chop off 8-year-olds' balls.
This is, I mean, you can't let a kid make those decisions. You can't make those decisions for a kid.
Nobody's making those decisions for a kid, and the kid isn't making those decisions. If a kid looks very obviously like they're uncomfortable with the gendered presentation that they were assigned at birth, you take them to a specialist who will give them a diagnosis, and with medical recommendation, you can put them on hormone blockers. Nobody is forcing them on the kids, and the kid can't just say, I feel like a girl, and then you just snip, just take that fucking junk off, okay? This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen anywhere. Nowhere does this happen.
They're too young.
He just remembered he had a wiener 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about these things.
No. No, he's just picking his
5,
nose and
15?
wiping his booger off on the couch 3 minutes ago, and now you're letting him decide his hormonal profile?
Yeah, the idea that a child who's 6 years old or whatever would know the consequences, but them.
It keeps getting younger. 10 years old, 8 years old, 6 years old. The idea that these fucking radical gender abolitionists would want to have babies in the womb, zygotes even, to make decisions as to whether or not. Fuck off with these people. It just needs to be pre-puberty. Hey, Sean Locke with the 20 fucking dollary dues. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. I was one of these guys in middle and high school. If you know who he is, actually Jim Sterling opened me up to leftist ideas. Then people like you and H-Bomb that turned me into a socialist. So thanks. Well, fuck yeah. I'm happy. Look, I've gone through a similar arc personally. I'm really happy things have gone well for you and that you're feeling more comfortable with your sort of political state now. Seriously. And thank you so much for the support. That's incredibly generous.
Saying that 18 is too late and that it's not, that they would disagree with your primary care physician that it's too young based on the research that I've done. What fucking research have you done where you can clearly point that it's a good idea to transition a 6-year-old?
No, holy shit, every time. Nobody's talking about transitioning a fucking 6-year-old. Nobody's even talking about hormone blockers for a 6-year-old. 6-year-olds don't go through fucking puberty. Right? I don't think so. From what I've read, hormone blockers are generally applied to people like 9, 10, 11, thereabouts, and they're done with the consultation of a medical specialist, and through this child's development, they are then checked up on by the medical practitioner to see how things are coming psychologically and physiologically. And there's no harm to this if you just take them off it. Nobody's talking about transitioning.
Well, that's a problem. Here's another problem. We don't know if YouTube is going to ban this video because of what you just said.
Well, I guarantee you.
And the conservative censorship. Oh, won't anyone think about the poor conservative censorship from Steven Crowder with the how many fucking subs does Steven Crowder have? Like 3 million? And Joe Rogan. Oh, Joe Rogan just GRE clips with the 2.1 million subs. Oh, if only YouTube weren't censoring their incredibly nuanced views.
This video is going to get marked for demonetization.
Well, yeah.
But the Jordan Peterson one just got flagged. And we talked about this book. We talked about the 12 rules for life.
Yeah.
Every single one of my videos gets flagged too, you fucking dumbasses, you dipshit, you fucking idiots. It actually fucking infuriates me. All of my videos get fucking flagged. Every single one of them. The only one of my there are like 3 videos of mine that haven't gotten flagged, and all of them are apolitical. All political content gets flagged. It's not just conservative shit. Transgender people who make videos, that gets flagged for less monetization. Gay people, if you put LGBT in your video, that gets flagged too. Everyone gets flagged on YouTube if you're doing political content. Fuck off with this. Whiny fucking bitch boys. The eternal fucking snowflakes. Constantly crying about something everyone is subjected to.
I talked about guidelines for living a healthy...
Just started reading it.
It's a great book. Let's keep going.
Authors.
Put a little more of this.
To understand themselves.
When your testicle reaches a particular diameter and the penis is...
I don't know anything about testicle diameter, okay? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't been doing my research. I don't know much about how testicle diameter plays into this, but I'm willing to learn.
Developed enough, then there'll be enough. If you're going to transition the other way, there'll be enough material to create a vagina.
Oh, God.
Because that's the problem. Like, jazz...
There'd be enough material to create a vagina if the testicles and the penis are developed enough.
Did you know this? Did you know that unless your penis gets big enough, you can't get a fake vagina because there's not enough tissue to invert? So he's like, this is him. He's like, now if you decide to go transition the other...
I like how they're getting on, like, grossed out, like, but, like, as if the process by which somebody transitions is just, like, this just flippant thing that you choose to do wildly. Like, oh, yeah, I think I'll get a vagina today. And fake vagina, by the way. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? This is pretty clearly evidenced.
The way, meaning if you decide to not transition, remember how everyone made fun of this the beauty pageant girl when she was asked about gay marriage? She's like, and gay marriage or opposite marriage, and everyone laughed. And it was silly. You know what I mean? She was conservative, but it was silly. But he's doing that right here. Like, should you choose to transition or transition the other way? You mean, should you choose to not cut off your penis? That's transition the other way now?
Well, not only that.
What? Wait, what? So this guy's parse of phrase, they're like triggered over this? What the fuck are they even talking about right now? Jesus Christ, these snowflakes.
There's a lot of people in the transgender community that think it's offensive to assume that you have to get an operation, get your penis removed in order to be transgender.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's saying that the genitalia you have determine your gender. Especially since with the trans guys, really hard to build a penis, by the way. Building a vagina, pretty simple. Hammer, chisel, tick, tick, you got it. All right? Building a penis, much more complicated. You need paper mache. It's a whole fucking process. What are they talking about?
So this guy's making this big assumption that this is what you have to do in order to transition.
No. At no point did that guy say, "Hey, your kid won't really be transgender unless they have bottom surgery." At no point did they say that. All they said is that if the kid wants this, there are certain ways to ensure the procedure can go more smoothly than others. This is guys, just so you know, this is what both of these fucking caprician big brain boys came into this discussion with. Trans people are gross. This is gross. This is literally what they came in with. They're just grossed out by trans people. They'll try and rationalize it and justify it and such, but that is the fundamental value they came in here with.
I know a lot of people that are transgender that do not have the operation. I don't know a lot of people. I should say that. I'm in a community focus group with transgender people. By the way, let me say this too. I'm 100.
I like that too. This is a minor point, but like I know a lot of trans people who haven't not a lot of people, and they all laugh like, haha. I don't know what would be funny about that unless the joke was that it would be like weird to be friends with trans people. I could be wrong. I don't know.
100% in favor of grown adults deciding to transition. I think you should be able to tattoo your face, get nose rings. I don't give a fuck what you do. I really don't.
Yeah, but you're also asking the government to pay for your face tattoo.
Yes, that's true. Well, and there was another thing. Here, I'll send this to you, Jamie.
Yeah, because not tattooing your face when you want to tattoo your face hasn't been shown to substantially increase the likelihood of suicide, depression, and anxiety. I like that little snippet there, like, the trans people are trying to force the government to pay for that. Okay. Yeah, it's a medical procedure. People who think that there should be single-payer healthcare will extend that privilege to fucking bottom surgery. Obviously, it's not as though nobody is saying like, "Hey, the government should pay for trans people transitioning," but every other medical procedure that should be on your book, buddy. You broke your arm in a car accident, whew, that's coming out of your wallet. Nobody's saying that. They're saying that they should pay for that surgery and all other surgeries because healthcare is a human right. So fucking disingenuous. It's actually fucking disgusting.
That was some research today that someone put out. Here, let's play this and I'll forward this to you, Jamie. I'll text this to you. Keep playing. That's it?
That's that clip.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's a good example. It's a public town hall, which we attend. And it gets removed from YouTube because someone who handed us his business card, Rex Butt, hilarious, by the way. Like the rest of us, we weren't nearly as mad about this as we were just in doubled over in laughter. The guy's name is Rex Butt.
Do you think I had trouble securing the URL rights?
They're still on the Rex Butt thing. I mean, I admit it's funny. I'll get the super chat soon, guys.
His own name. That's a completely different website.
There's no way you got to get his URL. Yeah, I just sent this to you, Jamie. If you follow the tweet, it is by Dr. Deborah So, and it is an article from the National Institute of Health Study. Dr. Zero Van Meter, a pediatric. Oh, okay.
Oh no,
pediatric endocrinologist. Well, she's anti all this.
Well, I'm saying they don't give any leeway to Asians. It's the minority group that they actually get more crap. It's like, well, you have to be better than everyone to get into a good college because there are too many Asians.
Wait, it's just a doctor tweeting saying that gender fluidity isn't real? What the fuck does that have to do with the contents of this video? What is that? What does that have to do with the subject? Here, they've got it down the bottom right now. Here, look, for your fucking benefit, now you can see this shit too.
So many really good ones.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Q Van Meter, a pediatric endocrinologist with extensive experience in gender dysphoria, which, by the way, is hate speech, says there is 0.0...
What? Nice fucking dog whistle there, bro, Joe Rogan, saying the term gender dysphoria is hate speech? What the fuck are you talking about? Gender dysphoria is in the DSM. I say gender dysphoria. I haven't been canceled yet. In fact, transphobia is probably the only form of bigotry I haven't been accused yet by the people who dislike me. And I say dysphoria all the fucking time. I love saying dysphoria. It rolls off the tongue like a fucking load of nut, like tickling my uvula. I love that shit. The implication here is that, oh yeah, it's hate speech because the authoritarian left doesn't want you using these terms to indicate there's anything unnatural about trans people. That may sound like a stretch, but I invite you to think of a better explanation for why Joe Rogan would say, oh, it's hate speech apparently, in regards to the term gender dysphoria.
Zero evidence that the concepts of gender fluidity and gender identity have any scientific basis.
Okay.
So this is...
Well, she includes 0.00. That's the second zero there.
She's money. She's thinking about cash.
Okay. No, give me. Go. Yes.
No, does it mean anything?
She's thinking about cash, money. Well, I guess you could have 0.01%. You could have 1/100th.
She wanted to make sure there's no doubt.
Yeah,
she's just burning those extra characters we
she's
just
like
got.
zeros, bro.
Yeah.
She's very...
So they were having a discussion about gender, like hormone blockers and gender transitioning and kids, and then someone's like, hey, I saw a tweet where one lady said that gender fluidity isn't real. Okay, cool, very cool.
The extra 240 characters.
What's funny though is you say like hate speech.
It would, by the way, dumb tweet. The idea that scientific evidence is the what do you mean? Have you found like brain scans that mean that gender is again a matter of identity? This is corroborated across pretty much all sociological, anthropological, and historical minds at this point, and linguistic communications. That gender is a matter of social identity rather than like a prescriptive biological thing. So the suggestion that science has proven that gender fluidity isn't real is fucking idiotic. What if somebody like wakes up one day and authentically believes that they would feel most comfortable presenting themselves as a guy? Like say, like me. Like what if I'm like, hey, I'm feeling pretty dude today, and I head on out there. I guess I'm wearing a fucking tank top and underwear right now, and I'm dabbing on folks in the street. You know how Vosh handles himself in public. Walking down the street in the Pacific Northwest, I see two college kids walking up to me, like a cute girl and like her boyfriend is like fucking 7 feet tall, big old beard. They walk by, and then right as they come close, rapid series of dabs. They never saw it coming, and then I keep walking. And I'm dressed like this, you know. And but then the next day comes around. It's the next day, and I wake up and I sincerely want to present myself in a feminine way, where I dress in like a sundress or some shit, and I shave my entire body. Ugh. But I shave my whole body, and I thought I can't do it, guys. I'm not feminine at all. But pretend I was, okay? There are people who sincerely kind of like, one day I'll do this, one day I'll do this. What is that if not gender fluidity? You can say like, oh, well, they're just confused. Well, that's not a very accurate description, is it? Because they're not confused. They know what they're doing, and they choose to do what they're doing, and what they do makes them happy. That doesn't sound like confusion to me. It sounds like we need some kind of terminology to describe their behavior. It has to do with gender and the way in which they shift from gender. It's almost though almost like a liquid moving from one surface to gender sloshy, gender dimorphic, gender wiggly, gender fluid, and then that would be the term used to describe that type of behavior. No confusion. They know what they're doing. Now we have a term that describes it.
Gender dysphoria is still in the DSM-5. That's the actual like the psychiatric journal that they use, reference book.
But they literally call it hate speech now.
Literally no one on earth says that gender dysphoria is hate speech. Like that's saying that term is hate speech. Literally no one on earth believes this. Nobody. Okay, I'm sure there are some fucking randos on Twitter. Nobody important.
Yeah, I know, but it's the actual medical condition.
Right.
What's crazy in that undercover...
And this is, again, how Joe Rogan does this, like, the trans people are crazy PC SJWs that want to censor our free speech, by suggesting that this completely innocuous medical term is something that trans people consider to be hate speech. He reinforces this idea, this fundamental frivolity or absurdity in the ways in which trans people, like, regard this behavior. Very dishonest, very fucking dishonest, and exactly the same tactic a bigot would take.
God bless my wife. She went with us because we need other people to have hidden cameras, and so she posed as a lesbian. A movie kind of lesbian. They're like, really? You exist? I'm like, yeah.
They weren't even hardly fooled. They couldn't say anything.
Well, she, remember, said, like, I identify as someone with bigger breasts. and she was asking how to get this covered under, Medicare, Medicaid, because they were talking about getting all these operations. And Mr. Rex, God bless him, Dr. Rex Butt was like, I think you should mention that, talk about that gender dysphoria. So for her, they use gender dysphoria to try and file it medically to get new tits on the taxpayer dime, but it was considered hate speech to say it to the transgenders in the room.
No one says gender dysphoria is hate speech. Also, what the fuck? No, wait, on the taxpayer dime? Excuse me? Do we have single-payer healthcare in America right now? Did I miss it? Did I miss the news? Hallelujah, day of days. Now I can get my fucking keloids removed. Now I don't have to pay to get the fucking wisdom tooth jaunted out of my fucking jaw. Great. Maybe I can finally get some physical therapy for when I threw my back out 2.5 years ago while deadlifting. That'd be pretty great. It'd be nice to be able to go to the gym again. Oh, wait, what's that? There's no single-payer healthcare and literally nobody is saying that breast surgery would be covered by the taxpayer's dime? Also, the transgenders, yeah. I barely even hear this anymore. I listen to so many fucking reactionary videos.
It's just crazy. Like, you can't make sense of it. And I don't need to make sense of it. I just need to not be banned for talking
She just wanted to be
about
the woman she was meant to be.
Right. Well, I mean, anything that you...
Love that guy in the background. Who is that guy? Like a co-editor or something? Constantly taking shots, adding literally nothing to the conversation besides a disdain for trans people.
You can mock is bullshit. I mean, if you can mock it that openly, if that's that obvious, like getting bigger tits because you identify as someone with bigger tits, I mean, that's bullshit. That's why it's so funny.
I like this, by the way, because I've seen the video, and it was literally like fucking Steven Crowder's wife dress whatever, goes undercover, and she's like, I identify as a woman with bigger tits, and the guy was like, oh yeah, you should go talk to a doctor about that. Like, that's it. Like he wasn't like, ah, yes, the bigger tit gender. Truly, your suffering is that which is most pronounced. I hope that I will ensure you are able to get the big boobies your gender demands, and I will do it on the taxpayer's dime. The guy was literally just like, oh, okay, yeah, you can go. Maybe you can go if you want to like look like that. Then you can go. Like, they're trying to play it up like they've uncovered the frivolity, the insanity of the transgender. Like advocates, but in reality they just acted kind of fucking cringy, and someone was like, oh yeah, you can get it, can get that done.
I don't think I've ever been more in love with my wife than when she did that. She just, I wouldn't expect that. She just looked at me, she kind of nodded, she's like, I was identified as someone who has bigger breasts.
Well, did you see that guy that got busted molesting children and said he identifies as being a 60-year-old boy? That was a really recent case. I mean, people are trying this out when they get
caught
doing things.
And I love the implication. If you let trans people identify as the gender of their choice, what's next? 40-year-olds raping 6-year-olds and saying they identify as a 6-year-old? This is literally the if we allow gay marriage, soon people will be marrying their dogs argument. This is literally that. Joe Rogan is being worse in this discussion than Steven Crowder is by fucking far. This is disgusting. How can, like, the only reason that I'm getting all moral outragey about it is because there are so many people in my community who think that Joe Rogan is like, oh yeah, he debates a lot of reactionaries. Well, he's okay, dude. He's not. He's a reactionary. People are trying this out. Oh, yes, as though this 40-year-old was a fucking master. I saw that news article. That guy was clearly mentally ill. That guy wasn't some fucking criminal mastermind like, oh, yes, and when I'm caught raping the children, I'll say I identify as 6, and the PC media will have to cover me positively. I'll get my case brought all the way up to the Supreme Court. No. He got arrested, and he's going to fucking jail. Nobody bought it. Nobody was impressed. Nothing changed. He's just a crazy person.
And I'm not saying that there's not people out there that identify with being a man when they're actually a woman, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to equivocate, but this is what they're going to try. This is what they're going to try and get away with if you let this shit happen. Of course, the fucking immediate backpedaling.
That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of fucking crazy people out there. A lot. And to deny that, and just because it's dealing with gender, you're
Nobody is denying that there are crazy people out there. What does this have to do with gender dysphoria or with trans people? What does this have to do with it? How does this have to do with
it? We're in Narnia now. We're in La La Land. You're not being real.
No.
Would you say we're in Clown World? Honk honk.
Well, let me ask you this, because you, like you said, you're not right wing. I'm pretty open about the fact that I'm right wing. I remember watching your show a while back, and you had, like you said, you're not right wing. I'm pretty open about the.
You're not right wing.
Fact that I'm right wing. I remember watching your show a while back, and you had little guy.
J.D. Kilstein?
Buck
Angel. Yeah. Little guy that used to be a gal.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then I don't remember what I said, but it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go out and like, oh, screw you, you're tranny. I said, well, I just don't buy it. And he
did he just say tranny?
And then I don't remember what I said, but it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go out and like, oh, screw you, you're tranny. I said, well, I don't.
For those of you who don't know, Buck Angel is a trans man porn star. I am going to, I'm gonna really quick try and find a picture of this man, and try and have it not be porn, because he's a porn star. Okay, does this image search result? Okay, we're good. Look, here's Buck Angel. All right. Look at that. He's a pretty beefy fucking guy. Pretty handsome too, IMO. Not really my look. I think he's rocking it here. This is a pretty good look. The mustache a little lopsided, but hey. Aren't hormones fucking crazy? Isn't it crazy that this person, I'm not trying to get all biologically essentialist here. I'm just saying that this person was born XX. I mean, this person was born very much not with the, oh, Buck Angel is a trans med. Okay. To be fair, he is pretty old. It's look, we don't need to cancel. I don't know. I need to look into it. Whatever the case is, this guy is pretty fucking old, right? He's like 50, 55, 60 now. But yeah, this person, born XX, not born at all with the genetic capability of looking like this, he said, fuck it, and decided to take hormone magic that would make him look like this anyway. That's pretty fucking cool. A trans med is a person who believes that you need to have gender dysphoria in order to be trans. It's a modern thing. The whole trans med versus not trans med argument is literally like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years old. It's a very recent argument. This guy's been trans for a while. It makes sense to me that he might hold like older values on this. Whatever the case is, from what I know, cool dude. Let's keep this shit going. Like, guys, please, it's like Zizek all over again. Stop with the cancel culture, okay? Not everyone who is helpful or useful or good is going to have every opinion right. I was a trans med until like 8 months ago. You want to fucking cancel me? You want to throw me out the fucking window? He's an old dude. He's probably going to have some opinions that are maybe a little bit antiquated. Jesus, fuck. It's like, hey, I heard this guy doesn't like mint chocolate chip. Yikes! Canceled! Stop. It's a cancerous fucking trend. All right. Nope, never mind. I've been canceled too. Fuck, now I'm a transphobe. My last fucking respite from problematic association. And now I am also a transphobe. Truly is life pain. Okay. Gotta be patient with old white dudes, Lamau. Unironically, you do have to be patient with old white dudes. Especially if they've already proven themselves to be a fucking ally. It's not like this isn't like fuck, what's her name? I'm forgetting. It was the first trans woman most Americans ever knew about. Was it Caitlyn Jenner? That lady, the shithead. This isn't like Caitlyn Jenner, where she becomes like the trans icon, despite being a conservative Republican piece of shit. Oh, what's the hardest thing about being women? It's deciding what to wear. It's not like, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about somebody who's been active, pro-trans rights, pro-trans medical rights, big, like advocate, cool dude. Oh, but he's a trust gum? Okay, fucking fine, whatever. Go at him on Twitter, but be nice about it. Just like, oh, yikes. Canceled. Get the fuck out of here with that fucking sectarian counterproductive shit. Not every critique is canceling people, Amal. I know that, but most people interpret critiques, especially on the left, as an invitation to cancel. All right, let's keep it up. Let's keep it going.
I just don't buy it. And he wanted to get into a fight with me
Oh wait, yeah, wait. Let's go back to the beginning of the Buck Angel show.
a while back, and you had little guy.
Jamie Kilstein?
Buck Angel.
Yeah. Little guy that used to be a gal.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then I don't remember what I said.
It's just trans dude. That's all you have to say. It's just trans dude. It's the little guy who used to be a gal. Okay, just trans dude.
But it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go, like, screw you, you're trans. I said, well, I just don't buy it. And he wanted to get into a fight with me. He wanted to have a fight. Like, let's fight about it. This was years ago when he had him on the show.
A fresh shot of test. Jacked.
But
you know, he was huge at one time.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah, got up to like 185, like super jacked, because just banging test in there and fucking lifting. But he was saying that his joints hurt really bad when he was doing that.
It's almost like it's unnatural. So.
Crazy.
Hey, I know plenty of people who take tests and bang out the weights really hard, and their joints hurt too, and they're cis men. I like this fucking like, oh yeah, Buck Angel, big bodybuilder, taking testosterone, hitting the weights really hard, and this guy's getting up there like 50, 55, and he said he's got to take a break, because his joints are hurting. Yeah, because being trans is unnatural. What the fuck does that have to do with it? How do you know how many fucking older dudes there are out there who are big in the fucking tattoos and weights and smoking and with the test? And of course he has to take tests. He's a trans dude, and then their joints hurt when they get older. Would you go up to them and be like, well, are you trans? Because I know Buck Angel, his joints hurt. He's trans and he kind of looks like you, except you're a little bit taller. Oh no, I'm cisgender. Thank you. Oh well. Okay, I guess it's good for you then. This is natural. And keep going until I find a trans guy. Fuck off! God almighty. All right, hold on. Julian Roja, thank you very much for the $5 earlier. Sean Locke with the $20 fucking dollars. I know I thanked you earlier, but I want to thank you again. Thank you. And Ciancius with the $2. I hate these fuckers so much. Please, somebody eat them. I am willing to eat a small portion of Joe Rogan's body, okay? It would need to be well seasoned, but I am comfortable with that. Sam Kane with the $5. Talk about Rogan's horrible rhetoric and how he could do better. Do you mean horrible rhetoric like he could do a better job being a bigot or what? But yeah, I get you. Avatar fan 10,000 with the $20. Thank you so much. Forcing people to get surgeries they don't want is why people detransition. They are anti-freedom. Absolutely. Yeah, no. Unquestionably. Yeah. These people don't give a fuck about freedom. They care about maintaining the pre-existing gender hierarchy. Lil Zoe 18 with the €1. Fake vagina, penis and vagina consist of the same tissue. It's just in a different shape and function through hormones. Yeah, and the penis and the clitoris are analogous, and the scrotum is like the labial folds, and then the ovaries are the testicles. Yeah, it's like the same shit, really. Avery B with the $2. Ah, yes, same Buck Angel as a trans man. Such is her life. Such is her life. Wait, 132. Okay, cool. Sorry. We focus. And the prostate is the womb? Yes. Wait, no, that can't be right. Wait. HK with the £10. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. You say thank you. I say thank you. We'll keep the circle jerk continues. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's not? Well, hold on. Okay. So the testes, ovaries, the appendix testes, the fimbriated end of the uterine tube, the gubernaculum is the ligamentum teres. This is not hot. This is not hot at all. The ductus deferens, the perufron. Where's the womb? Are any of these fancy words for womb? Yeah, the gubernaculum. Where's the womb? Where's the prostate? Oh wait, the prostate becomes the parathyroid glands. Hold on. Oh, okay. I'm glad I'm not showing you guys this. Okay. All right. I've done my research, and I can now confirm that the prostate doesn't turn into the womb. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Easy.
But back then,
Yeah,
when you
look
had
at
him
that.
on,
Jacked.
all
Like, if
right.
I had a roll with that guy, I'd be like, fuck. All right, here we
185?
go.
No, come on, you wouldn't have
Come
pressed
on.
that.
Try to be kind.
Yes, yes, exactly. But the point is, back then, let me ask this: did
When did they? I blanked out for a second. Did they say something transphobic? I didn't hear anything transphobic. I'll just assume they said something transphobic. It's probably a safe bet.
you realize it was going to get as insane? Like, or did you just think this was kind
No.
of this is an interesting guest?
Well, he's a nice guy. And,
Right.
you know, I'm more than willing to call him a man. And that was one of the things that I said. I said, look, man,
What a high bar you set, Joe Rogan. Oh, thank you. You're willing to call him a man. Oh, Joe Rogan. Oh, you little fucking diplomat. God damn. Ah, yes. Yes, I had fucking Buck Angel over. I was willing. I was nice, okay? I was civil. I was willing to call this person a man. Yeah, I'm not a transphobe. I was willing to call. Oh, how generous of you. Wow. Wow. I'm very proud of you, Joe Rogan.
you're a person.
You're a Joe Rogan. You're a little SJW libcuck, aren't you? Oh, you little transphile. Oh, Joe Rogan. He's not just a man, he's a person too. Oh. Chimney Pie, thanks for the $2. Holy shit, Elvis Crowder have mainstream cred. I love you. I love you too. It's very easy to have mainstream cred if you're a reactionary. The bar is not set high.
Whatever your name is, whether it's Buck or Fred or Wilma, I don't care. I just, whatever you want to be called. I'll call you whatever noise that you connect with you as a being. I'm fine with that. And if you can explain to me...
This is overcompensating so fucking hard. Imagine, hey, someone's accusing you of being racist. I think Jeremy. I think Jeremy's a person. His name is fine. I don't care if he's called Jeremy or Tyrone or Denver. I don't care. I'll call him whatever word sounds he wants to be called. I'm totally cool. Hey, listen, I'm totally cool with the black people. The blacks, they're all right with me. Okay, so Jeremy, the black people, I don't have a problem. Like, gee, can you imagine fucking like wheeling this hard about a group of people you're not a bigot about?
Where you feel happy you're being a man, I'm 100% in support of you doing that. What drives me crazy is people making decisions for 6-year-olds, people pushing 6-year-olds in certain directions, and I know that this does happen.
No, it doesn't. Nobody's pushing fucking 6-year-olds. It's kids who are on the cusp of puberty who are demonstrating substantial indication of them being like trans or gender questioning. You then bring them in to a doctor or a therapist well, that's a kind of doctor who speaks with the kid, works it the fuck out, and then they say, hey, why don't, for a provisional period of time, we put you on these completely harmless, completely medically vetted, completely well-tested hormone blockers, and that will delay your puberty so that if you decide to transition, if you decide you're actually a boy or a girl, whatever it is you weren't assigned at birth, then you will have a much easier time with it. And then they say, yeah, sure, yeah, we can do that. This is totally easy and reasonable and definitely like a medically valid, evidence-based policy that we're going behind. That's it. NS Bullet 11, thank you so much for the $2. Love your work here. I love your sex joke.
I can't get too personal about this, but I have a friend who has an ex-wife that turned his child into a girl.
Again, this language, turned his child into a girl. Ah, yes, I remember when the legions of SJW mothers brought in their kids. But mommy, I'm a boy. No, you're not. Timitha. My name's Timmy. No, it's not. It's Timitha, and you're getting a transition. Now lay on the table. The doctor approaches, the pair of gardening shears coming closer. The fuck do these people think is going on? turn your child into a girl. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, and it, like tried this and was pushing this, and kids are very fucking pliable, man.
Oh yeah,
this is not. I mean, maybe some boys.
Again, this is the same argument reactionaries do anytime there's something that upsets the preconceived gender or sexual hierarchy. Gay people? Well, you wouldn't want to have gay people feeling comfortable being intimate in public, would you? What about the kids who will see that? Kids are very impressionable. Do you want a kid to see that and then think it's okay to be gay? Listen, nobody was ever fucking bullied into thinking they were trans or thinking they were gay. Everyone has confused periods early on in their life where they don't really know what it is they want or what it is their identity really is. That's what the hormone blockers are for. The hormone blockers don't change anything. It delays a change that's going to happen anyway. Muhilan Silva, thanks for the $1, friend. I really appreciate that. Really kind of you.
Boys would have rejected it. Maybe he was leaning that way anyway, but she was excited about it. And this is something that a lot of people are excited about. I mean, we're talking about a 14-year-old. I mean,
a 14-year-old? Yeah, I'm cool with 14-year-olds being transitioning. Are you fucking kidding me? I knew what gender I was at 14. I was really fucking certain, actually. Yeah. What? 14? I thought he was going to make some shit about the kid being fucking 11. Or something like that. What? Because the mom was excited to help their child achieve the body and or like persona that they had dreamed of. This means that the mother forced them into it. Imagine, like, hey, listen, if your kid is clearly trans and you've gotten the A-OK from medical practitioners to engage in the procedural sort of treatments and therapy and medications that will help them transition, make sure you look fucking miserable about it. Because the last thing that you want is for some cunt like Joe Rogan to see you walking down the street being excited that your child finally gets to live a life free and comfortable and expressive and enthusiastic. The last thing you want is for Joe Rogan to see you and think, that mother looks excited. I bet she forced her kid into this.
I just don't think you know who the fuck you are. You know, what is that girl's name? Ruby Rose? Is that her name? The attractive lesbian with the tattoos? She said that when she was young, she wanted to transition. And she's very happy that she didn't. She wanted to become a man. And she's very happy that she didn't. And she's a lesbian. And she's happy. And she's open and super successful. But
no, good thing that hormone blockers would give you this intermediary period during which you would have the consultation of medical professionals to determine whether or not your desire to transition is legitimate. They don't... Believe it or not, you can't just get a prescription for HRT by wandering into a doctor's office at 12 years old and going, I don't want to have boobies. I like boobies. I want to have big boobies. And the doctor says, because of SJW liberalism, I must comply. And they reach up to the top shelf and get the fucking HRT down and throw, yeah, boobie. And the kid just fucking swallows it and ruins their life instantly. This is not... This is so fucking stupid.
But she's advocating this sort of the same thing that I'm saying. It's like, let people become a goddamn adult and then make these inalterable, life-changing decisions. This guy's saying...
Let people become an adult and have already experienced the puberty that causes the depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and social ostracization. Let them make sure they already get to experience that puberty that will not only make them suffer, but will also make it infinitely harder for them to transition. Make sure you got to cross that suffering bridge first, you see? Are you really even trans if you don't cry yourself to sleep every night? Think about it, dummy.
That hormone blockers can be turned off and then you could go through a normal puberty. You're out of your fucking mind.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joe Rogan, MD. Would you like to show me some research which says that's not the case? Because it is the case. Ooh, oh, little Joe Rogan. I'm sorry it hurts your feelings that doctors have miraculously found a way to delay puberty without harming people in the long run. I'm sorry if the fluidity of gendered and sexual expression, the ability for us to choose what we want to do with our own bodies upsets you. But, how awkward. As it turns out, hormone blockers do exactly what you say they don't. Ooh, that's real awkward. But I look forward to your burgeoning medical career producing scientific evidence to the contrary.
I'm not a doctor, but I have enough understanding of biology to know that that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is the height of reactionary anti-intellectualism. Oh, the entire medical community agrees on this thing. Listen, I'm not a doctor. I know enough about biology, though. I know this is crazy. What the fuck do I say to somebody this proud of their ignorance? Joe Rogan, you're huge. I know you'll never listen to this. But if you ever do, you're a fucking cunt. You're not just a cunt, you're stupid and self-absorbed. And if I ever had an opportunity to debate you on this subject, I could crush you and wipe my ass in the desiccated remains of your stupid fucking insecure wannabe alpha boy body. Okay? Easily.
Yeah, that's just not true.
No, it's absolutely not true. And that's one of those things.
And of course, his compatriot, MD Crowder over here.
Listen, anyone can get lost in the weeds and make someone look stupid with something specific. You know, whether it's. I mean, you were showing me that compound out there. It's fascinating. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to be a moron. You know, less than room temperature IQ. Some doctor can come in who's pro-transgender and explain something and make it sound like we don't know what we're talking about. So when it comes
pro-transgender, it's not a doctor doesn't come in pro-transgender. I like how they're saying this. Like, yeah, listen, if you put us in a room with a medical professional, it'll look like we don't know what we're talking about. But when it's just us reactionary bros arguing about the validity of trans people together in this podcast recording room, yeah, it all starts to make sense, doesn't it? As soon as you excise any sort of medical credibility from the discussion, our opinions sure do seem a lot more valid, don't they?
To that.
See, I don't agree with you there.
Well,
I don't agree with you on
use
that.
some terms we wouldn't know,
But
right?
it doesn't matter. What terms are there that you don't know about a child's biological development?
Ooh, Joe Rogan's going hard. He's saying even if there was a doctor here, he would be able to disprove the medical consensus with his big boy brain.
Well, what they point to, they go, well, actually, there are these studies that show that the brain alterations occur before cross hormone sex replacement therapy, and it's not true. So we had a few transgender people on our show, but the point is, with these, whether it's a conspiracy or this, you say, okay, I'm not a doctor, and I can't just appeal to authority. I can't just say this doctor says X. So I do have to, at this point, accepting that I'm not a doctor, accept the preponderance of evidence from the overall medical community, and combine that with the anecdotal. And
Steven Crowder is unironically being more reasonable than Joe Rogan here. Joe Rogan is such a fucking transphobe that he is saying unironically that if he had an opportunity to discuss this with a doctor who is completely versed in the medical consensus on this subject, that Joe Rogan would still argue with it. Steven Crowder actually has the humility to say, listen, we all have fun and jokes here, but like I can't actually argue with the medical consensus. Don't get me wrong, Steven Crowder still does say things contrary to the medical consensus. He still lies about this shit all the time. But at least in this moment, he is cognizant enough to recognize that he is not capable of countering this. But Joe Rogan isn't. Big brain Joe Rogan, fucking skull as smooth as his brain, thinks otherwise.
Combine that with, is there a motive here? Is there an agenda here? Like a lot of conspiracy theories, it just doesn't add up. Because, well, who benefits from telling you, the world is flat? Who benefits from it? Now, I can understand how...
And then we pivot hard right into conspiracy territory. Hey, I'm not saying I can disagree with medical consensus, but, like, who benefits from it, man? What if there's an agenda there? Just say the Jews. Just say the Jews. Steven Crowder, just say it. Just say it.
Someone might benefit from a conspiracy where it's like, oh, they make a lot of money off of this. Or was it Tim Kennedy's a hunting Hitler thing? I'm not saying it, but it's like... Oh.
You make a lot of money off pretending that transgender medical consensus isn't real, Steven Crowder. One might say you have an agenda in this regard.
Okay, I understand after war...
Does Streamlabs only accept PayPal?
No, you can do it with credit card.
Okay.
I think. I might not have credit card enabled right now.
Okay.
They thought maybe they had Hitler and they needed the healing for the country. Okay, I can understand that.
Wait, what? What? I look
someone
away
might
for
benefit
1
from a
second.
conspiracy
Hitler?
like, oh, they make a lot of money off of this. Or was it Tim Kennedy's a hunting Hitler thing? I'm not saying it, but it's like, okay, I understand after war, they thought maybe they had Hitler and they needed the healing for the country. Okay, I can understand that. But with this, it just doesn't add up. None of the arguments they present add up.
It's a new way for millennial parents to whack off. Turning each.
Hey, I'm not going to argue against medical consensus here, but I am going to say that their medical consensus is wrong. It just doesn't, in my completely uneducated opinion, the medical consensus here. What medical consensus? That hormone blockers don't function the way they're advertised to? Do you have any evidence to suggest otherwise? No, they don't. Of course they don't. It doesn't matter to them.
Their children into social experiments.
It's disgusting.
And subject their children to social experiments. Joe Rogan is every bit as bad as Steven Crowder, and quite possibly worse. Joe Rogan is a massive piece of shit. Huge fucking conservative bigot. I can't believe people think otherwise. You've used a credit card on my Streamlabs before? That might have been before I transitioned over to YouTube, because I had to make a new Streamlabs account. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like this might be a conspiracy. Hold on. Let me catch up. NS Bullet 11, love your work here. I love you, buddy. Ciancius with the one buckaroo. Rogan and Crowder have never come close to experiencing even 1/100,000th the plight of trans people, for Christ's sake. Those fuckers wouldn't last a day if they were force-fed feminizing hormones. I don't know about that. I get an eggy vibe from Crowder sometimes. And Mohilan Silva with the $5. I can't believe you didn't know the word uterus meant womb. Wait, what? Yes, I did. What do you mean? I knew that. Wait, uterus means womb, right? 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 Yeah, right?
The cervix goes into the uterus.
Yeah, the uterus means womb. I knew that. I definitely knew that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what?
Yeah.
It goes vaginal canal, cervix, womb, tubes.
Then the
bulbs
eggies.
or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the $5.
I do
Hideyoshi Lacan with the $7 Interesting how conservatives claim to be for the individual, yet force individuals to conform for gender identities and roles. Yeah, it's almost as though they value hierarchy over egalitarianism. That was a dab who. And Avatar Fan 10,000 with the $20 again. Incredibly generous of you. Seriously, thank you. If male and female is a biological mental state, then there has to be people who identify as the other one. Brains are complicated, things go wrong. This is basic biology. Yeah, there's also a fuck ton of science out there to indicate that like trans women are born with brains with physiologies closer to the brains of cis women than that of like regular cis men. Like that kind of shit, you know? There's a massive amount of medical consensus on the subject. Oh boy. All right.
It was the end of the day.
Okay. Oh no. Wait. Somebody said I should watch this. Who donate? Hey, Rory, aka Everyone Talks, donated $5. You're one of my BreadTube idols. I love listening to you just go off in these mornings. Have a nice day. Hey, Rory, aka Everybody Talks. Thank you so much for the $5, my friend. I really appreciate the support. Thank you. I enjoy going off on them. It is a delight every time. What is this? Is this a reactionary video? Someone suggested I watch this.
And I was waiting for my bus with one of my friends when she began asking me random questions. All of a sudden, though, she asked, "Hey, have you heard of the LGBT plus community?" Yes, I had.
Is this like a video for kids? This looks like a how I saved my gay friend with a kiss. I feel, is this like HK? Thank you so much for the £10. Have some more before Brexit kills me. You are magnificent. Right, true. Once the Brexit riots begin, once the fucking Ireland border riots consume your entire blighted nation, you won't be able to watch me anymore. But until then, thank you so much for the support. And Brandon Schneider with the $2. Hierarchy, 4 syllables. Hierarchy. Hierarchy? Hierarchy. Fuck you. Piece of shit. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna watch this. Is this an anti-LGBT? Okay, wait, hold on.
It was the end of the day, and I was waiting for my bus with one of my friends.
Hey, wait. I'm gonna make my thing real small, okay, so we can all appreciate the cutesy pseudo anime art. All right, look at that. Look, I'm like a little baby now.
When she began asking me random questions. All of a sudden, though, she asked, "Hey, have you heard of the LGBT plus community?" Yes, I had. Is this the last question? No, but almost. Do you support gay and lesbians? Like the people who are in the LGBT community?
Am I gonna be like bullying kids here? This sounds like it's video made by 13-year-olds for 11-year-olds. I'll shit on underage chuds too. I don't give a fuck. All right.
Do I give her my honest opinion?
Oh no.
Or should I lie? Maybe I should just tell her.
Coloring error! That should be brown. The bangs clearly come down beyond the eyebrow here. Why'd you stop? Coloring error. Look at this. I'm on your fucking tricks.
Do I give her my honest opinion? Or should I lie? Maybe I should just tell her what I think will make her happy. But what if it's not the right answer she wants to hear? I mean, she's my friend. I'm sure we'll be fine. After a quick pause, I gave her my reply. No. She tried to hide it, but I saw the shock on her face. She smiled awkwardly and said, "Oh, okay." I had no idea what that meant and thought of it as nothing more than an awkward and random conversation.
I mean, no, you just indicated that you don't like LGBT people. What? It's not an awkward conversation. If I had this conversation with somebody, even when I was younger, I had this fucking conversation with somebody, and they said no, I'd be like, well, okay.
We said bye to one another as she walked her way home, and I hopped on my bus.
Okay.
Before I went to bed, my mind kept replaying my friend's question, and why she acted so awkwardly to my answer.
I wonder why.
Why did she look like she was hiding something? Or what if she doesn't want to be my friend anymore?
Good.
Am I a bad person for not supporting the LGBT plus community?
Yes.
The biggest thing I couldn't get off my mind was her awkward smile hiding her true emotions from me. I thought about it the entire night until I fell asleep hoping it was just a harmless question.
This really does feel like some Telltale shit. Like, Life is Strange. I feel like I'm watching, Babby's first Life is Strange.
And she'd forget about it tomorrow. I walked through the hallway saying hello to my classmates and friends, and every time I did, they brush me off or give me a dirty look.
I know exactly how this is gonna go, okay? The message of this story is gonna be that everyone just has their own opinions and you should respect them because this brave girl dared to stand up against the hegemonic LGBTQA plus IAQPLOPQ MLNOP QRSTUZ WXY and Z agenda. Everyone ostracized her. I bet the story is going to be like someone gave her a whirly in the toilet, where you grab their head and you stuff it in the toilet and you flush, and while the toilet swirls flushing and the floating turds are scraping against their cheek and brushing against their lips, you're vomiting and it splutters against the whirlpool of water and you get splashed back into your nose of flecks of shit and vomit and stuff like that. That's what we're gonna get from this, okay? That's what's gonna happen.
I even had a few people ignore me and whisper something to someone else right in front of me and then walk away. Did I do something wrong? Why are people giving me these mean looks?
Well, I know people like me. I'm just a little bit bigoted. I'm just a little bit bigoted.
Finally, I saw my friend who asked me the question the other day and nervously said, "Hi." She automatically replied, "Get away from me." I backed up in shock.
Okay, I admit, I'm 25 years old. I'm a boomer. But I went to a pretty liberal high school. I was in Beverly Hills, okay? It was pretty liberal. And I guarantee you, if you had had a convo with a friend and you were like, I don't really like the LGBT thing, and then you came in the next day, the whole fucking school would not be turned against you. The fuck is this propaganda shit? Yeah, the fucking LGBT mafia coming in to collect. Blah, blah! Fuck, coming in hot. Jesus Christ.
We were fine the other day. At least, I thought we were fine. What? What did I do? At this point, everyone had their eyes on us, waiting to see what would happen.
Wait, what? Everyone in the hallway is watching you two? Wait, so the rumor spread. Even though, hold on, I got a nitpick, okay? So apparently you had this parting conversation with your friend on the bus out from school, and between you saying goodbye to your friend and the next morning at 8 a.m., everyone in the school has not only been made aware of this, but everyone is so invested in this dilemma that they'll watch you expectantly to see how the conversation goes between you and your friend. Okay.
How dare you not support gays or lesbians? What? Why did you tell everyone? I thought you were my friend. How can I be friends with someone who doesn't support what I or all of us do? You're a monster and unaccepting of other people's preferences. You just don't fit in with the rest of us anymore.
And as I came to class the next morning, I opened the front doors, and instead of seeing a crowd of disillusioned, sleepy high schoolers meandering about the lockers, I instead saw the interior of a courtroom. Hundreds of students lined up against the lockered walls, the administrators of the school overseeing from a stack of chairs they had piled up to near the ceiling, and the prosecutor, my friend. "Why?" my friend cried from down the hall. "Why did you betray the hegemonic value of the LGBT?" I broke down into tears. Samantha, I thought we were friends. "No one can question the authentic..." Like, okay.
At this point, everyone gave me a dirty look and agreed with her. It was like I had committed some kind of sin and didn't deserve to be around everyone else. In an instant, I was the worst person in the entire school. The only thing I could do was run into the bathroom. I cried.
You hear this? 21st century, folks. Now it's the homophobes who are oppressed.
So hard, so much, and so loud. Someone in the other stall heard me and told me to shut up.
But they sent agents to the bathroom as well. Even in there, I had no respite. They brought their hammers out and clattered against the stall walls, flecks of paint and bits of dented metal flying off and hitting me in the eye.
I felt so ashamed of myself for not supporting or accepting the LGBT plus community.
Okay, good.
I hated myself for not lying and saying I did support them. I wanted to go home so badly, but there was no way I could.
Can we go over why you don't support them? Is this something maybe we can discuss? Can you maybe say, like, what do you think they're like icky? What, like, why?
The rest of the day was just as bad, if not worse. People mocked me and called me homophobe, which wasn't true at all.
This is literally just a high production alternate universe Tumblr like green text post. You guys realize that, right? This is literally like the fucking poly queer transkin gender dynamo black queer disabled femoid went onto the bus and sat and tried to sit down, but a greasy neckbeard fedora wearing person with a red pill shirt had his legs stretched across the seat. I said, hey, could I have that seat? And he said, "Your identity isn't valid, bitch." And then the person next to him said, "Listen up, Sonny, that was dumb and bad." The red pill fedora man ran out crying, and the bus driver and everyone else clapped, and the man who told the fedora man hat off said, "And you can have my seat." And he was actually, you guessed it, Barack Obama. The seat was presidential. I don't know.
I tried to tell them that it was my personal preference to not support it, but it didn't mean I hated people who are gay or lesbian. I had never felt so alone, so
Cool.
I decided I had to tell my parents what was happening to me at school. But would they yell at me for having these opinions? Or worse still, they might hate me.
Where did you get these opinions from? This is really important. Like, oh, I don't hate gay people. I just don't support them, and I'm doubling down on this. And oh, if only I had lied to. Like, wait, can the video give an explanation? Is it because they're icky? Please, I'm genuinely curious how you can contextualize this to further this victim narrative you're playing.
I entered my kitchen to see both of my parents sitting there.
Oh God. Do you think? Okay, wait. Bets in chat. Do you think the parents are going to double down on her and shit on her for this too, or do you think the parents are going to be like, "We support you for who you really are," and the big message will be that nowadays coming out as homophobic is harder than coming out as gay? Is that going to be the turnaround?
Even though I tried to find the words to tell them I needed to talk, all I could find were tears. Both of them quickly stood up and came to the door where I was standing to comfort me. My mom asked me what was wrong.
Do neither of your parents work? You just came home from school. It's like 3 p.m. Where you're fucking... Are you rich?
And I began to explain. I told them the question my friend asked the day before, and then my answer. That I just didn't agree with the LGBT plus community. To my delight, my mom and dad, they reassured me that it was okay to have different opinions to other people about things like sexuality, religion, and politics.
I love the... I knew it. I knew how this was going to be framed. That LGBT people say they want tolerance and equality, but now they're treating the homophobes the same way that they used to be treated. Now they truly are the bigots. This is disgusting propaganda. This is like aimed at kids. Isn't this like a kids channel? This is kind of fucked. How many kids do you think watched this and like came away with the message that this person is trying to deliver? This video has like 1 million views. This is oh my God. This video has 1 million views and it came out 5 days ago. Ugh. I don't like that. It's getting some pushback in the comments section, which is nice, but... Ooh, God.
Just as long as you are not rude or disrespectful towards them.
Nothing's not disrespectful about believing people don't have a right to exist.
Unfortunately, the kids at my school didn't see it that way. My old friends would either turn their backs on me to ignore me, or worse, mutter mean words under their breaths as they passed me in the hallways.
Cool, good.
Their words would cut through me to my core.
Oh.
I would come home every day, head straight for my room, and cry.
Okay, good.
My parents would ask, "Darling, what's wrong?" But I couldn't bring myself to tell them how bad things had become.
Maybe rethink your opinions? You could do this with literally anything. And I was at the bus stop and my friend said, "Hey, have you heard about the Third Reich? You're not a big fan of Hitler, are you?" I panicked internally. Do I lie or do I share my truth values with them? After welling up my courage, I looked her in the eye and said, "Yes, I do support the Third Reich. I believe that Germany needs Lebensraum to ensure the propagation of an Aryan race across Europe and beyond." My friend gave me an awkward smile. Like, you could do the literal exact same thing here. Oh, why is everyone being mean to me with my armband and the goose step? Why?
Over the next few months, my school life was miserable.
Right.
No one was interested in hearing my opinion or reasons. All they cared about was their own.
Oh, wait, what opinion or what reasons? What reasons?
Things had become so bad at school that my grades started to slip.
Cool.
I just couldn't concentrate, and no one wanted to work with me or help me in class.
Cool.
Eventually, the school's head had noticed something wasn't right and called my parents in for a meeting. I was nervous, scared even, that my parents would be mad at me for letting this affect my grades. But after seeing how bad things had become and how unhappy I was, they both agreed that the best thing for me would be to move schools and have a fresh start. A year has passed since I moved schools, and
my new classmates are much more tolerant of my views. Tomorrow, Jordan is inviting me out to a bonfire where we're going to, well, let's just say we've got a surprise for Timmy and the date he's bringing.
And I've made great new friends, all with different views and opinions. I still have the same views, but I've realized that there are better ways to express them. I look back on that day my friend asked me my opinion, and maybe if I hadn't been so short in my answer and turned it into a discussion about our different opinions, things could have been different. The way my new friends accept different opinions by discussing them rather than turning them into a witch hunt and isolating the person with a different opinion has made me feel so at home.
This is so ham-fisted. And the way in which my new friends don't report my videos on YouTube and instead engage in discussion in the comment section, but make sure not to report me or ever launch like hate thread tweets at me. The way they did that made me so much happier. Jesus Christ.
I have learned that people will always have different opinions in life, but that is fine. Just because a friend doesn't agree with you doesn't mean you can't be friends. You should be open with each other and discuss your differences. The world doesn't need to be any more divided than it already is. And if it turns out you still don't get along with someone after hearing their opinion, you can still be respectful. Saying mean things to them is bullying, and even though they might look fine on the outside, inside, they could be really hurting.
Fine. Good. The worst part about this is the fact that this message could have actually come across like fine even in the same content if they had changed the way in which it was delivered. Like, what if the message was like, hey, there was a kid in the school who had friends and they were like kind of a homophobe, and as soon as it came out everyone was just really shitty about it, but then the shittiness only reinforced the person's negative values about gay people because it made them feel like a persecuted minority. So by being a little bit more forthright with the discussion, actually challenging their views rather than just shitting on them for having them, we were able to change that person's mind, and now they don't dislike gay people. See, through the dialogic process, we have arrived at a better resolution, you know, synthesis. But like the same message could have come across just fine if this weren't a very obvious, like, anti-LGBT hit piece. I'm definitely watching this I Saved My Gay Friend with a Kiss video. Absolutely. Are you kidding? Oh, shit. It's a different artist every time. Wait, who publishes these? Holy shit. Why you shouldn't fear death? Oh my...
In total darkness and unaware of his current situation.
Wow, we're getting fundamental with these ones. Jesus Christ. What's the about section got for me? We blend art with stories to captivate and positively change the way everyone views themselves in the world. We believe it is important to give every person a voice through stories they can help feel or in the video purpose message, animate change. Cool. 142 million views on their videos. Hey, speaking of, guess who's coming up on 1 million views on his own videos? Look, we're gonna hit it either today or tomorrow. We're at 983,000. Hype! Hype! Well, I'm excited at least. We're getting there. All right. Let me Let me go over donations. Hold on. So I don't feel like an asshole. Sean Locke with the $20. Sean Locke, you are such an incredibly fucking generous donator. I don't know what's going on with you, my friend, but I like it. I like it very much. Thank you for the $20. I don't get how this isn't incredibly easy to understand for literally everyone. You have to either be willfully ignorant or a disgusting bigot. It really is just a feeling of discomfort, and everything else stems from that. It's just disgust, and they build the positions from there. From an intuitive perspective, transphobia makes a lot of sense. The idea that there are just men and women is something really fundamentally rooted in the socialization of everyone. Like, the existence of trans people is, I think, in this society, something which is very antithetical to logic at a glance. However, we are adults, and that's not a fucking excuse. So... Lexi Jones with the $5. Damn, why you gotta make it sound so sexy? I assume you're referring to my little flushy earlier. Swirly. Thank you very much for the $5, my friend. I did my best. That feel when 25-year-old boomer? Correct. Jordan Mines with the $2. Thank you. Avatar fan 10K with the $5 through Super Chat. Thanks, Obama. Yeah, thanks, Obama. They helped that incredibly disadvantaged person out quite a bit. Proboscis Man with the 99 cents and Dust Knight with the $1. God, with the $1. Thank you both very much. I really appreciate it. And Proboscis Man then again with the $5. What the hell is this pseudo baby voice? Well, if you use a real baby voice, it's a lot harder to recognize the fact that this girl is trying to justify bigotry. Brayson Christ with the $5. These videos make me physically ill. Yeah, they're pretty bad. And Kyle M with the $2. Closeted trans girl says hype. Kyle M, thank you so much. But you're in the closet. You got bigger things to worry about, okay? Save them $2 buckaree-doos for yourself, okay? I love you. Stay strong, all right? Okay, we gotta watch this one. This is a content farm right here. This is what I'm saying. We gotta diversify the content that we watch, you know? If it's all Steven Crowder, Hunter Avalon, blah blah blah, same arguments, da 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 dab. But this is a whole new kind of reactionary conservatism being pushed. Jordan Mines, you pronounced my name right? I'm just that kind of guy. Jordan Mines. Huh! Let's do it. I hope we get a cutesy, girly voice here too.
I'm Alice. I live in England and come from a religious family.
Ooh, I actually like this art a lot more. This art's a lot more expressive. So I do draw. I like art. Okay.
I'm Alice. I live in England and come from a religious family. We weren't the type of family that only listens to gospel songs or anything, but we went to church every Sunday, prayed, and led a pretty normal life. I made many friends from church and Sunday school, but there
Don't like how this is starting. Oh, I do not like how this is starting. Wait, what's the like to dislike ratio in this one? Ooh, it's pretty heavy in favor of the likes.
was one who was, and still is, my best friend. His name is Tyler, and we've been friends since we learned how to walk. Although we went to different schools, our parents got along and we'd see each other almost every weekend and every day after school. His parents were a lot stricter and a lot more religious than mine, and would hardly let him have any friends unless they fitted in perfectly to what they would class as a good person. In fact, I was one of the only people he was actually allowed to see privately.
Hey. Fundamentalist households are fucked up, guys. Let your kids live their lives.
He could only listen to certain songs, watch certain TV shows, and had a really strict set of rules to live by. The biggest issue his parents had was with homosexuals. Under no circumstances was he allowed any gay friends. And that was the biggest problem. I remember being 8 or 9 years old when we'd sneak into my brother's room to play with his gaming cards, but then I'd catch him looking at a picture of my brother, gazing and becoming lost in his own thoughts. I didn't think much of it at the time, until I began to notice he was flirting with boys more and more.
If this video turns out to be that the girl saves him from being gay by kissing him, I'm gonna be fucking disgusted. Yeah, get that dick, Tyler. Whew! Rack that shit up.
He was extremely feminine and loved to do his nails, talk to girls, and play with makeup.
Okay. Okay, come on. It's not the 1980s anymore. It's okay. Not all young gay boys do nails and put makeup. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a gay boy and doing nails and makeup or whatever. This just feels like we're hammering the point home.
The more I noticed these things, the more I knew he was gay, but I didn't know how to bring it up and talk to him about it. When his parents started to have ideas about what was going on, they were having none of it. One day, he was caught putting on his mother's makeup. The next day—
This is not... Please, this is... Oh, that clenched fist is not encouraging. Jesus Christ. Yeah, does everyone remember when we were in the closet with our fundamentalist parents and we just go in and try on our mom's makeup? Oh, yeah. Look, guys, I'm not saying that this happens. This is like a very stereotypical view of gay men. Like trans girl, maybe, but...
day, I saw him with a bruise on his wrist.
Ugh.
He explained that his father grabbed him so hard that the ring he was wearing began digging into his arm, leaving him with a bruise.
Ew.
Things only got worse from here on. Fast forward a few years, and we're both 15 years old. We were just talking on his bed when his parents came crashing into his room, his dad with a belt in his hand, and his
Alright, hold on.
mother holding
Please, just let's take a quick break.
a computer. I look up, first to see the anger in his dad's face, and then to the screen. On the screen was a picture of him and a boy holding hands on a bed. I could see the fear in Tyler's face. He was trying to convince them it wasn't gay, it was just a friend. I knew that if I did nothing right then, things would get much worse.
Alright.
I took a large gulp and said, "He's not gay. He's my boyfriend." Tyler and his parents both looked equally as shocked. Tyler's father then said, "Well, if he is, then why don't you prove it?" I paused for a minute, looked deeply into his eyes, and then locked lips with him. It probably lasted only a few seconds, but it felt like an eternity. I could hear nothing apart from my heart beating and my own thoughts racing through my head. Was I doing the right thing?
Hey, don't get too attached, bitch. This guy gay.
How was he going to react? For all I knew, he could have pushed me away, and then things could have gotten real bad. For both of us.
For one, this is fan fiction. For two, we have to arrive at the conclusion. I've got so many things I want to say right now, but I gotta arrive at the conclusion. Yeah, there are so many layers. Truly, this video is like an onion.
As soon as it was over, I looked into Tyler's eyes, and straight away, I knew I'd done the right thing.
Oh no. Oh no, he's blushing. Oh no, she turned him straight. Oh no.
We both looked to his parents, who were already retreating backwards in shock. His father still staring Tyler down as he backed out of the room. As the door clicked shut, Tyler turned to me, gave me a massive hug, and began to cry. He was so grateful, but at the same time, he was scared of what would happen if his parents ever found out the truth. He said to me, "If my parents knew I was gay, they'd disown me."
Okay. She didn't convert him into being straight. Okay, I thought because he was blushing, I thought, okay. By the way, I like, because this is the dumbest fan fiction in the fucking universe. I like how the fucking mom and dad crash in. They somehow have a picture. How do you have a why, if you fundamentalist parents, would you take a picture of you holding hands with a fucking boy on a bed? And then they come in with the belt and the computer. They're ready to whip this kid up. Just fucking beat him into fucking dirt. And then, hey, if you're not gay, prove it. And then the proof you accept is the girl clearly, like, forcing a kiss on the guy. Like, I thought, like, fuck. Like, I'm not saying, like, I don't need proof my kids are straight. I don't give a fuck. But if I was in this, if I was this fucking dad right here, and I wanted proof that my kid, I'd be like, no, really, prove it. I don't know. That's not enough. If we're looking to prove it, this ain't it.
Leave me on the street.
Yeah, like, it's all, God, there are so many layers. Oh my God.
The whole next week, Tyler's words haunted me. I knew how strict his parents were, and I understood their beliefs. But I was all—
Ha ha ha, don't have kids, Vosh? Fuck you. I'd make a great dad. I don't need to force my kids to kiss or not kiss anything. I'm saying if I was a shitty fundamentalist dad who's about to literally beat my kid because I found a picture of him holding hands with another guy in a bed, if I literally believe my kid will go to hell if they're gay, if the proof that I'm looking for that he's straight is not someone else forcing a kiss on him, okay? But that's just one plot hole, and otherwise fucking... Oh God, we're like 8 layers in. Let's...
also sure they loved him, and I was sure they wouldn't see him left on the streets.
I don't know. LGBT homeless population's pretty fucking high because parents keep disowning them. Ooh, I don't know.
I had to speak with him, but I didn't want to do it at his house, where it would have been awkward for everyone. That weekend, I met Tyler in the park and he looked at me, embarrassed and shy, and once again said to me, "I've known for years, but I didn't know how to tell you." He sat and poured his heart out to me, and I just listened and gave him occasional reassurance. The longer he spoke to me, the more I could see the weight being lifted from his shoulders. The conversation went from being a dark, upsetting one to a friendly chat about feelings that should have happened years ago, and I wish it had. I could see the pressure he had been carrying all on his own when he really just needed someone to talk to and a friendly shoulder to cry on. Tyler knew this was going to be a long road, but getting all of that off his chest to me gave him massive confidence, and for the first time in his life, he could see how things might not actually be that bad after all. Tyler has since come out to his friends and family, and although his parents didn't agree with his choice, they did accept it and still love him for who he is. Not only that, but he had full support from all of his friends, so
What the
every
fuck
time
is
he
happening
couldn't turn
here?
to his parents for advice and understanding.
Where's this arm coming from? Oh my god. For a second I thought this was the fucking black guy's arm. What is this arm? Oh my god.
His friends were.
Wait, what about his choice? I read that as like the choice to come out. Let me re-listen.
Tyler knew this was going to be a long road, but getting all of that off his chest to me gave him massive confidence, and for the first time in his life, he could see how things might not actually be that bad after all. Tyler has since come out to his friends and family, and although his parents didn't agree with his choice, they did accept it and still love him for who he
No, okay. Gay is a choice. Nope, yeah, nope, yeah.
is. Not only that, but he had full support from all of his friends, so every time he couldn't turn to his parents for advice and understanding, his friends were never far away. As for me, well, I'm happy I was there for my
We found it. We found the owner of the arm. Don't fucking draw the arm and then wait an hour for the body. Jesus.
best friend in his darkest hour, when he most needed someone to be there for him. And I look forward to many more great years of our friendship.
Okay, that ended up not being as bad. I was so convinced the girl was gonna turn him straight. Like, she kisses him, and he's like, oh, girls are pretty. And then, then he sobs in her arms, thank you. I was going down a dark road. I thought I liked boys, but now you've shown me. Okay, it didn't go that way. Okay, this is cringy and bad and shit. This is cringy and bad and shit, but it could have been a lot worse, okay? That was okay, listen. That was really weird, but the end message was like, by talking about it and being accepted, he was happier. Okay, that's okay. We can Conyer, shut the fuck up. Oh man. Okay, look, okay, all right. This video was weird and cringy and whatever, and homosexuality is a choice, and the dad came in to beat the... Okay, but it could have been worse. Look, I take my victories where I can, okay? Hold on. These videos make me physically ill. Brace in Christ, I'm enjoying the fuck out of them. Thank you for the $5. Dave Squatch with the $2 almost a billion views. Thank you. Don't forget to thank Hunter Avalon Vaush. I'm gonna write him a personal fucking... I'm gonna write him a snail mail letter, I am. So deep is my appreciation. Pashlin with the $1. Thank you so much. Sean Locke again with the incredibly generous $15. Holy sweater puppies on a Wallace. These are so gross to watch. Creative Nothing with the $5. Just spent an hour debating with someone who advocates for eugenics. Talk about a goddamn headache. I am your reprieve, my friend. I am your reprieve. Living in Furnace with the $5. Want to go deeper into the world of conservative cartoons? Try The School of Life, the spiritual prerequisite of PragerU. Hey, buddy, I've watched quite a few School of Life videos, okay? Hey, that was me 3 or 4 years ago. Thank you for the $5. Sean Locke again with the 15 buckaree-doos. Can I throw up on a video through the internet? I think it's called the report button. You can throw up on your screen, take a picture of that with your phone, and then send it to the people who made the video. Thank you for the support. Kays plays games with the $5. That was hard to say. Have you seen the documentary series by Harvard University professor Henry Louis Gates Jr. about the Reconstruction period in the U.S.? What an extraordinarily specific thing to ask of me. No, I have not, but I have heard about it. Seems like it'd be a fun thing to look into sometime. All right. Loud. Ah! My beautiful friends. Fuck Steven Crowder. Fuck gay friends. I was supposed to watch this, but we can get to it later. My friends. Yeah, zoom. 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 Let's talk it out, okay? Vosh, are you going to play WoW Classic when it comes out this summer? Probably not. I just don't have the time. I would love to. I just don't think I have the time. Unfortunately. Let's do it. Let's chat it out, my friends. Wasn't this nice? Just me's and you's having ourselves a conversation. Huh?
How much longer do you think you'll be streaming?
Well, I'm just doing a chat with chat, and I closed all the videos, so probably not that long.
Okay, so this is that. Okay.
I just got here. Well, Adisa, good thing that this stream is going to be VOD ready within an hour. Aska, there are people who unironically think Ben Shapiro isn't racist. Yeah, and there are people who unironically think that Hitler was a leftist. What are you going to do? What are your thoughts on reparations? I think it's a dumb idea. You can achieve comparable social goals without framing them as reparations. I would rather see these things target the socioeconomic conditions broadly experienced by black people than targeting black people themselves. It's just a fucking PR nightmare. How's your week been? Kanye, I'm going to be honest with you. Could have been better if you were here with me more. I wish I could watch your stream. Unfortunately, when your Twitch account's banned, that means it's banned. You can't log into it or anything. And I don't want to risk going on my old Twitch account, because if that gets banned, then I get double banned for ban evasion. But I miss you, and I love you. Watch 1 more Minutes video to cringe and laugh at them? Maybe tomorrow. You're awesome, buddy. You're awesome, Murd. Thanks for the stream today. Thank you for watching it. Disable chat on screen? What do you mean? Oh, I thought I did disable chat on screen. My bad. Lamau. Watch the new Trump rally? Maybe later. What is syndicalism? I'll get into it later. I noticed Vosh says unironically a lot, lol. Yeah, well, I'm only human. Please turn on live chat so we can swear. Nope. How long are you going to stream, and what safe for work art do you want, and how do I send it to you? Well, for one, get on my Discord if you want to, like, show me art, because there's an art channel, and I always keep up with it. And for 2, I'm about to end streaming. And for 3, as for safe for work art, I don't know. Draw me as a horse. Cody Ruth, happy to have you here. Julian Roja with the $5. Thank you. Random, but what are your thoughts on felons and voting rights? Personally, I think their citizenship guarantees that right. What about you? Oh, absolutely. Felons should have voting rights. What crime, which is committed often enough to make it such that their inclusion into voting rights would be a problem? What crime is committed that makes a person unviable to be a participant in democracy? Marijuana? Murder? Do murderers not have opinions? If that's the case, then get the fucking president out, like all the fucking war criminals. No, a felon should absolutely be able to vote. Fosh, are you into feet? Nah, not really. Really wish it wouldn't skip my chat down like that. Should I be a socialist? Why? Yeah, you should be. Fuck off. What happens to some people that realize their sexual identity become trans, a more biological or social factor? Serious question. That's a full fucking stream of content right there, buddy. That's a complicated question. I believe that the urge to transition is more social than biological, but I don't know. It's complicated. Mouth still hurting a bit? Mouth still hurting a lot. On Monday, I'm flying down to LA to get surgery. Have any good history podcast / documentary recommendations? I wish I did, buddy, but I'm afraid I do not. Can you tell me your secret to sleeping at night? No, I don't sleep that well at night. I have habitually bad sleep and bad dreams. Would you be interested in doing a video about former reactionaries turned leftists? Maybe talk about your own experiences? Yes, that would be an excellent video. Who is your favorite trans girl? Kind of a weird question to ask. Like they're like Pokemon? I don't know. The trans girl who I admire most is like a public figure, probably ContraPoints. Your views on UBI, I generally don't enjoy its practical implementation. Jojo Mojo, I didn't skip your message. I love you too, Supreme Member Recnitz. Oh god, I'm not catching up with chat at all. Oh no. I was thinking of learning how to draw. Any advice on how to practice? Follow a fuck ton of artists and try to imitate their styles. Find art they've done, try and imitate it. Do art of your own, but imitate their style. And do art they've done, but in your own style. Constantly play around with people who are more talented than you, because only through acknowledgement of those greater than you can you reach greater heights. That's how I got better. Does the eggplant work on Tinder? I don't know. I love you too, Sean Knott. I still like it when you say, oh, no, no, no. Yeah, I like it too. How's your YouTube stream been going on YouTube? More viewers each stream or keeping steady? Nope. YouTube streaming is going incredibly well. I am doing quite well. Do you have a hot take on the Homestuck epilogue? No spoilers. I'm not spoiling. No, stop. No, my God. I gotta move faster. Sean Locke, thank you so much for the $20 again. You are unbelievably generous, and I really, really appreciate the support. Say for us. Oh God, I gotta move faster. Videos and your views about marriage abolitionism. I'd like to know more about that. No, I should do a thing in it. Are Marxist-Leninists tankies? Not necessarily, but usually. I'm a fan of Bernie Sanders. Avatar fan 10K with the $5 voter fraud. Ha! Yeah, okay. People who commit voter fraud shouldn't vote. I agree. Thank you, Avatar fan 10K. Thank you for the $5. And Tori with the 2 New Zealand buckaroo dues. Meme Lord really appreciates your content. Well, I appreciate you, Tori, and your art. Hey, get that fucking centaur porn to me soon, okay? I got a nut to bust. Are you against decolonization too, then? No, of course not. Do you think even racist mass murderers like Anders Breivik should have the right to vote? Yes. Have you seen the video of a woman trolling InfoWars about Bernie Sanders? No, I have not. I think I might be agender and it's freaking me out. Don't let it freak you out, friend. Everyone has little bumps when it comes to like their personal identity and what needs to be done to, you know, accept it and live with it. Just don't worry about it. Just do what feels good. No worries, Unlark. I get you. Non-compete most. Any book recommendations? 1984. Lamau. Ciancius, once you start a YouTube channel, you'll be a contender, okay? Please do a video about transphobia in the black community. I don't know much about that, though. I could. Conyer CC, if I had a wrench, I'd be a happy boy. I don't know what that means. That sounds like innuendo. Frosty T.O. with the $5 regarding felon voting rights. I think it's more a question of should felons be allowed to vote before they finish their sentence? Absolutely, I agree. Yes. Absolutely, I believe that. It wouldn't be hard. Just when voting day comes, line everyone up in the prison yard. They get a 2-hour exemption. Have them line up and fill in the little ballots or whatever, and then there you go. Alan Hannigan, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. You watch anime? Season 3 of My Hero Academia was pretty good. I do watch anime, but I was pretty critical of MHA. Are you permanently banned from Twitch? Yes. How long is YouTube streaming going to go on? Well, pretty soon I'm going to be able to host my shit on my own goddamn website so we can have emotes and stuff. But for now, YouTube streaming is what we're dealing with. All right. Will I sug you off? Sorry, Scuttlebum. I am a huge size queen, so unless you're rocking a solid 13-incher, that ain't going near my mouth. Who can we get to make Hunter Avalon Voshborn? Hey, I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind it if any of you guys drew porn between me and Hunter Avalon. And you know what? Mix it up. Maybe let Avalon top. You guys were you bigots? You're not okay with that? You think the bear always has to top? Get your mind straight. It's 2019. Chris B with the $5. I'm really straight and I love women. I catch myself watching you every night and hoping to watch you every night. Should I question my sexuality? Well, you know, when I was young, I thought I was straight and that I only loved women. And since then, I've been getting progressively gayer. So, who knows? Maybe you're on that path, my friend. I love you, buddy. I'm happy to have you here with my stream. There's literally no argument as to why prisoners should not vote. Not one that I know of. Please tell me how to sleep. Anarcho-Tac, I already answered that question. You think Avalon could be a power bottom? Nah, he's a brat. Bo Murray with the $5. You skipped me, so you got to say my name twice now. Love you. Also, trans whites. For one, yes, trans rights. For two, Bo Murray, Bo Murray. Thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. And Sean Locke, oh my God, redistributing the wealth. Thank you so much for the $15. I'm not even doing any content right now, but sure, yeah, just fucking pile the money on. Which admittedly I need because flights are expensive and I need to get surgery done. Whatever the case is, thank you so much. All right. Did you see the Tim Black Amazing Atheist Banana Porn pics? Maybe. Why do we only see your side profile? There's not much room for me to put my camera here. It's very unflattering lighting-wise. All right. If you don't believe in UBI, how do we suggest to address the automation crisis? That is a complicated question. When will the website be officially complete? That depends on when the website's manager, White Nervosa, finishes it. White Nervosa is a goddess, and I am extremely appreciative for the work she's doing. Okay. That's that, my friends. It has been a nice solid 4 new PC win. Hey, check it. There's the stuff that I'm piling up. Look. Ignore the cake plate. Look, we've got the RAM, the CPU, the motherboards in this box right here. This is the fucking solid state drive. This is a power source, and then all this. That's the case. Yeah, we're getting there. Just need the GPU, then we can assemble. All right. My friends, I have had a delightful stream. It has been wonderful. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I love you all very much. And yeah, if you're interested in continuing with this ongoing YouTube experiment, please join me on my Discord, Twitter, whatever you prefer. I love you folks. Have a wonderful day. Whatever struggles you are currently contending with in your life, I beg of you, hold out a little bit longer, okay? Every day, each and every one of you exists as a blow against fascism. Love you.